Hello and welcome everybody from Las Vegas, Nevada, here in the USA. My name is Jerry and you're watching 3DHP and this is my Friday Hangout. And if you're joining me today, thank you very much. I'm live on YouTube, on my Facebook group and my Facebook page. And I try to do this each and every week, once or twice a week, other than when I have a special guest on during the week. Anyway, that's a mouthful. I should say that backwards. I've been rearranging my hobby room, working on this and that and changing things around. I got my outside area enclosed. It's not 100% done, but it's getting there. And I posted a video with some music playing in the background. You guys might have seen it over on Twitter or Facebook. That was pretty cool. So I sent out some PMs to a few people that might pop in and join me. And if they don't, then the link, if you'd like to drop in and say hi, you're welcome to drop in. There's a link in the description, in the comments there, to scroll up a little bit. Let me say hi to a few people. Andrew S., hello, how you doing? Michael Castle, hello. Got two Michaels, Michael and Michael. One-Eyed Monster, hello, how you doing? One-Eyed Monster's in the chat. He's a man over on Cults 3D that I bought my Ghostbuster car from, that I've been building at 250%. And Matt Nicholas is also working on that. It's turning out great. Gary T, hello. Microtech, how you doing? Jocko, how you doing? TK's 3D Prints, hello. And thank you for everybody that's watching wherever you're at. I'll probably do this for about 3 hours. I'll sit here and I'll just gab and randomly talk about whatever until other people drop in, and then we'll be talking about anything that has to do with lasers, CNCs, resin printing, or FDM printing. We don't do politics. We don't talk about sex, and we'll try to not cuss whenever possible. I'll be sure to let all the guests know to tone it down. I don't want that kind of stream. So, hello, Chris. How you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, boy. Anyway, yeah, we got 13 people right now on YouTube. And let's see, Facebook. I got one like from Walter. Okay, we got 5 people on my group watching, and there's 12 on YouTube. Yeah, what's everybody printing? What do you guys got going on? What's everybody doing? Yeah, my Facebook group is starting to get cluttered with too many Patreons from people, too many people trying to sell their models. I'm getting too many ads from too many companies. So last night I started weeding a few things out. I've had my Facebook group for about 4 years now, and I'm just getting way too much clutter on there. You know, it's supposed to be primarily about people's prints and paints. I allow some advertising depending on what company it is, but if they're doing it multiple times a week, that's a no-no. And there's just too much stuff going on. So I need to start weeding a lot of that out. So, and then there's different companies that I contact all the time about reviewing this or reviewing that, whether it be filament, resin, printer, or whatever. And 99% of the time I hear, no, you don't have enough people on YouTube. You know, I've got over 5,000 subs on Facebook. I've only got a little under 1,900 on YouTube. And then, of course, I'm on all social media, but most people are saying no. So, you know, anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, the Ecto, let me go grab it. All right, here I can show you some pictures. Let me pull up some pictures here I can show you guys, and I go grab it after that. Okay, this was my patio that I enclosed that most of you seen other pictures of, but there's the Ecto sitting there on the table. It's 3 foot long from bumper to bumper. That's a 59 Caddy, the Ghostbuster car. And I've got I bought some acrylic nail polish racks that are clear plastic. They're like $16.99 on Amazon. I bought 2 and put a bunch of paint in. I need a lot more for my airbrush paint, so I ordered 2 more. They'll be here tomorrow, and I'm slowly just trying to get everything set up. And of course, since that was a stuccoed patio, I'm not going to do anything with the stucco. It's fine. It's all insulated, and I got 2 4-foot LEDs on the ceiling. So it's looking pretty good. And here's some other pictures of my room. I moved a few racks around. My resin stuff used to be there where that rack is, and I drug that over there. And there's my CR10 right there. I'm printing a part for Ecto right there in that picture. And that's where I put all my stickers there on the enclosure on both sides of it. I just plaster it with stickers from people. Obviously, I can't completely cover it all up. I want to be able to see my print still. And here's another room. And then I took all my paint stuff that was in that far left corner where it says Jerry's Projects. I took all that out in that room, and I'm just trying to get all my printers all set up there. So it's getting there. Okay, you've seen that picture, that picture. Okay, here's another angle. And that's where I go outside there to go into that room. And then I had a ton of prints down there where I had the printers on that lower shelf. So I took all the prints that were down near the floor and I stuck them on there. There's most of them. I have some on the very bottom you can't see, and there's some in my spare room. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff. Too much. And then here's a picture of what it looks like on the outside. That is just primered. Currently, I need to paint that wall, paint the trim, paint the door. But that's how it looks enclosed. And I still have a pergola up ahead, so I still have a patio other than the one patio that was under the house that I enclosed. So anyway, thank you. I'm on TV and I have a hard time. Well, hey, Walter, I sent you a link. You're welcome to drop in. You done fine last time you dropped in on Hangout. You're just sitting here talking to a camera like I am. You're reading chat. There's nothing hard about it. There's no pressure. There's not people around you with the clipboard pointing at you or shaking their fist or anything. Trying to get my PETG dialed in on my Ender 5. Yeah, I like PETG for the most part. I get a little stringy here and there, but I don't have any real issues with it. Old Curmudgeon, how you doing? If you'd like to drop in and hang out, Old Curmudgeon, you're welcome to. I have a link. Yeah, I'm scrolling from bottom up. I should be going the other way. Have any real issues with it? Hey, Liam.
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing today?
Okay. Yesterday was an interesting day.
How you doing? Hey, Dixon. Hello. Hey, I have a link. Somebody has YouTube running.
Not me.
Yeah, I'm scrolling from bottom Liam. Be going the other way. I can hear myself talking. Have any real issues with it? Hey, Liam.
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing today? Is it you, Liam?
Okay. No, I know you.
Here, I'll mute him for a minute. Can you hear me, Dixon?
Pardon?
You can hear me? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Liam, it was you. I muted your mic.
Not me.
Yeah, I'm scrolling from bottom Liam. Be going the other way.
Oh, the only thing I have open is StreamYard.
Yeah, it's Liam. He muted his mic. He's trying to figure it out.
Oh, got it.
But yeah, it was quite a thing there. I was waiting on you. If you can still hear me, Liam, hold your hand up. Okay, you can't hear me at the moment. He'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I see you have your walls up. Them look really nice.
Thank you. Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah, I got it insulated and I drywalled inside and got it taped and everything. Got that all done.
You probably don't have to worry about the outside for a while since you live in Nevada.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Plenty of insulation. Liam froze. And my phone just dinged. Let me check my Facebook real quick, see what's going on. Okay. No. You froze, Liam. Yeah, Liam went live yesterday. He had the JG Maker CFO or CMO on the company yesterday, and he was live streaming, and I was sitting for 2 hours, just working around the room here waiting for him to start. And then he went live and everybody was waiting, but I don't know what happened. Facebook screwed up. He wasn't live on that particular link. And then he was over on Facebook, and then his internet went down. And the man in China, I believe, or wherever he was at, is like, "Where'd you go? Liam, where are you?" So anyway, he finally came back in. That's the nice thing about StreamYard. You don't have to download it. So if I lose my internet or my power goes out, you'll still be here talking to people because we're logged in the StreamYard server. So. Oh, AutoDrop 3D. Hello, how you doing? Is there a filament that can handle the temp of a pressure relief valve on a pressure cooker? I have no idea. I don't know, but that'd be pretty dangerous. I wouldn't want to tempt any kind of filament making. I think I'd just buy the correct part. So
yeah, I would stay away from that.
That's too dangerous. So even if I knew of one that might work, I'd say don't. Unless it's just a knob that's not going to have any kind of pressure on it. If it's just a handle or something, of course you can print it, but not anything that might be under any kind of pressure. Yeah, Lama, you ever come to Vegas, you're welcome to come here and hang out. Or, like stick you on the couch or something. Not a problem. Yeah, my Elegoo Mars, I have zero problems with it. I got it last August, I think, and then right around December, I had to replace the screen, which sucked. That was $30, and then I replaced it again around a month ago. But other than screens that go out occasionally, I have no problems with it. If you want a smaller build plate, but now if they keep coming out bigger and bigger stuff, I'm getting spoiled and I want bigger and bigger. But I have no problem with the Mars, and if I get a bigger resin printer, I'll definitely be keeping the Mars. I've had zero problems with it. And Walter's saying nylon, but I'm not sure. You'd have to check the specs on it to see what it could or couldn't do. Google it would be the best thing I could think to say. Huh. Let me go grab that exit cord so I can show it to everybody where the body is. Yes. And I don't have a mic, so you can't hear me when I walk away, but seeing it on a table is one thing, but when I hold it up in front of the camera, that's another thing. So, yeah, it's getting there. It's pretty big. I got a lot of putty work and sanding to do on it, and I got a ton of work to do on it. And since I've been working on this other room, I haven't got a lot done on this body-wise. But, yeah, it's very heavy like this without everything in it. But, yeah, it's turned out great. One-Eyed Monster done an awesome job on it. Awesome job. And you can pick these files up over on Cults 3D for under $10. It's a hair under $10. And he has a PDF file that explains how to build it in extreme detail. He has an audio file on it. And he has the sticker, bunch of stickers you can print out so you can put the Ghostbuster logo on the doors. And I have some transfer paper like they used to use on models years ago. You soak them in water and can peel them off. So I can print those out on my my inkjet printer, and then I can put the stickers directly on the car doors. Yeah, it's an awesome file, great file. He done an excellent job. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be the E-Packs. They have that new one that just went on Kickstarter. I think it's like $500 to $600 that I seen around a week ago. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with that one. I'm not sure about the Saturn, but one of the two possibly. I just have to wait and see. And then I want to get a laser cutter, a K40. But everything I'm reading on the K40s, if you get them, you got to do this, and this right away and change it. Put a couple $100 into them. And then they're only like a 12x8 build plate, and I wish it was more like a 12x12. But so I don't know. We'll see, because I want to start making things out of cork and etching glass, and start selling things so I can make more income.
Yeah, that's why I bought one of those portable ones, so I could set it on top of bigger pieces of wood. Lasered the 40, well, they call it a K40, but I bought mine 20 or 30 years ago. But I did cut the insides. I took that all out, and then I cut part of the exhaust out, so I had more room yet. And then I put the trays back in there, the XY tray back in there, and that gave me more room. But I mostly use that one for cutting out parts. It works real good for cutting out parts.
Yeah, Jacko, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the DeLorean or not. This car here is going to take me probably at least a couple months to get finished. And then I got to figure out where to source electronics. I don't know anything about fiber optics. If I, for little tiny lights, I know nothing about them. So I need to do some Googling and figure out where to buy what to save money and learn about it and how to hook them up and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. I get it done. I'm not sure where to put it. If I'm going to put it in a case by itself, which I may, and enclose it that way it doesn't get dirty, or I don't know if I would want to hang it, but I guess it's an option. I could always hang it. So we'll wait and see. So how many lasers do you have, Dixon?
I have two of them, the 40 watt, and then I have the smaller one. I bought a knockoff quite a while back. I forgot what Orchard or whatever. There's just the popular. Yes, yeah. That's the popular one now. But the one I bought is identical to that. It's just a different one. It was like $50 cheaper, and it does the same thing. But I used to mess around. I had I think it's ZYLTECH out of Texas. That's a very expensive little small laser. Same thing as the little one, but that laser was $500, and I'll tell you that's a whole different story. if you look up ZYLTECH on the internet, and I traded that little laser off for a couple of 3D printers. But if you really want something that's going to last in continuous run for hours, ZYLTECH is, but they're expensive. They're around $500. That's the smaller wattage one. They go all the way up to 7.
Okay. Hey, Liam.
Hey, sorry, I moved something and I disconnected myself.
Okay. Yeah, last night, I don't know what happened, but I was working on my hobby room. I waited for 2 hours for your stream to start, and then it did, and there were 6 people waiting. It's like, okay, wake up, where you at? And that's why I finally PM'd you on Facebook, and you go, well, I am live.
I have a feel. Okay, I think I created the event on.
Hey, Walter.
I created the event on Facebook, and then I went into StreamYard, and it created a duplicate. And even though I have my Facebook and my YouTube to always use the same link, StreamYard for some reason generated a new one.
That's weird. Okay.
Well, so I bypassed. Now I don't do anything in Facebook. I just use StreamYard going forward now, just to let that use it on its own.
And then when you lost the internet, Bill's like, hello, Liam, are you there? Are you there? And I typed, he'll be back. Wait a minute. He's like, oh, no, where'd he go? I said, he'll be back. His internet went down. Don't worry. Just keep talking.
I didn't even watch the stream. I looked at bits of it, and it looked okay, so I was happy enough with it. I think it was interesting. People seem to like it, and they like to be able to have a general chat rather than we're trying to sell you this. We're trying to push this product at you.
Yeah. Well, it's good to talk to companies,
Yeah, and it was just a general chit-chat rather than we're forcing a product on your throat type of conversations. When you normally see them online, that's what they're doing, right? They're selling. But I'm trying to flip it around and make it not a sales thing. We could talk a little bit about the company and the product, but I want to know the people, right? And everybody wants to know the people, especially if they've been dealing with them online a lot.
Well, if you talk to people and you get to see them like we're doing in a hangout, even though you're not in person, you can kind of determine what kind of a personality they have, what kind of a person they are, whether they're, this, that, or the other. And so Country 3D, Walter, what have you been up to?
Oh, that. Oh, you can't even see that, can you?
Stargate's got lights.
It does.
Oh, you did Stargate? Nice.
And people said that you never get that far.
I got it. I got it that far. I've actually got. Hold on. Where's it at?
Are you going to put servos on it so it actually rotates?
Oh no, yeah, it'll rotate. It'll dial. There's going to be a DHD, play sounds, and what did I do? Oh, it's in the base. I've got the rest of the parts in a couple different boxes. Got the motors ready. Got all the electronics is here. Just I'm trying to do it slowly but surely, because I get aggravated on that shit.
In Joel's video a few weeks ago, Joel had that gravestone that was cut out, and he had the white sheet on it, and he had a projector on it. You could actually make that Stargate work with the same principle. Have a projector and have that pop like that.
It's really funny because one of the guys overseas, he made a thing, Andrew S. It used to be Play Deaths on YouTube, but it's Andrew S. now, if you see him around. He made a piece that goes right in the middle of it, and when it dials, it'll actually blow smoke and do the blue lights and all that stuff for me. He sent it to me across the pond. It's
cool.
It's still in the box. I kept it all, it's all there. So, but I want to get this working first, and then I'll start adding things like the DHD, the sound, things of that nature.
Yeah, Dominic just asked me about do I fly my rockets, and the answer is no, I don't. They're for display only. I do outreach and science outreach for NASA. I'm a solar system ambassador with NASA's JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory. So I do outreach for them voluntarily, and I do a lot of setups, and I bring all of my models and stuff out so kids can get to see what a rocket looks like and take them apart and see the components inside and stuff.
Cool. But I one of the things, Jerry, that took me so long is the other one was a glue together model. These are solid one piece rings.
Yeah.
They're about 427 millimeters wide. So I had to get a printer that I could print them on.
What did you do? An Ender 5 Max?
Hypercube Evo.
Hypercube? Okay.
Nice.
That's 500 by 500. cube or 500.
I've not that big. 350 is 350 by 400 is the biggest I have.
Take care, Jacko.
Right here. If Jerry zoom back in, and this, I don't know if he's seen it. This one here, the orange and blue one, that's a 300 by 300 by 300 printed Hypercube Evo.
Yeah, I'm thinking about making my own. I've designed stuff before. I've made smaller ones. I'm actually kind of leaning towards building my own monster of maybe. I'm leaning towards maybe going 1 meter square, 1 meter cubed.
Walter Codecito, no, that is not an Anycubic Delta. That is a TiVo Little Monster. It also is a big printer. But I've always wanted the 500 cube because it just, then there's really nothing you can't print. I mean, if you can't print it on that, then yeah, you need to be doing it for a living. You know,
I got a
printer.
Mine's 400 by 400 by 500 Evo, and I'm very happy with it. I finally got it printing pretty good. I had a couple of my rollers go out on the belts, and when I bought up replacements, they were smaller than I have on the other side, but it didn't affect it because they're not the ones that ride on the stepper motors.
I have a question. I'll wait until Walter gets back.
No, I'm here.
Hey, Walter, I got a question. Them Hypercubes. Yeah, I think Jerry, you have one too, right?
Yes.
Are them Core XY?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But just for reference, there you go. That's a 500 by 500 flex steel sheet.
You know what the problem is with them? That big is if I was gonna have one of them and I had a project and 3D print is the maximum that you can print on that thing, you could probably let it run for 2 weeks straight.
Oh yeah. Well, not really, because you normally, if you're gonna do something like that, like right now I'm using a 0.4 nozzle, but
okay. Yep.
Right up here I have in my possession. Where'd you go?
Nine times out of 10, if you print something that big, it usually only ends up growing on the Z-axis. Maybe you only go 4 or 5 inches.
But I have a Mosquito Magnum right here that I'm going to put a 1.2 millimeter nozzle in.
Yeah, there you go.
I will print with a 1.2 millimeter nozzle with this, and then you could probably do the build volume in a day or so.
Are you going to put a big, a long heat break or long nozzle and turn your heat break on your heat block on its side?
No, that's
you won't be able to heat enough plastic and push it through the nozzle.
Well, that's what the Magnum does. That's what
I haven't seen one, so.
Oh yeah, the Mosquito Magnum that's what it's made for. It basically takes the same as what is that, the E3D Volcano?
Mm-hmm.
It'll run more plastic than a Volcano will.
Oh,
so, and that's what you're talking about, is turning the heat break on its side and getting along. That's a Volcano, basically.
Yeah, it just has a longer heating element, and because of the longer area it has the heat, it can melt more plastic, so you can push more through the nozzle faster. Right.
This one, the way they design this, the way the ceramic insulator and all that stuff is designed on this, it'll run up to about 450 degrees Celsius. So you can actually do pretty much any material out of it. And I mean, you figure if you crank it up to about 245, you can push plastic at 1.2 millimeters pretty quickly.
Yeah, Well, at 245, you can print really fast. Yeah, because it'll be almost a liquid state at that point.
Right. There's my buddy Robin Mack.
Yeah, Walter, when I get the money soon, I'm thinking about buying a K40, and of course, I got to do about $200 worth of upgrades. I'm not going to go with an Ocher. They're just a little too small for what I want to do, but I want to make coasters and edge class and try to find a way to make extra income. How are things going with you?
Well, I will tell you. Here, let me grab a couple things. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, you could do the coasters with a CNC. You just do 2 different materials, and you can do inlays. One is the main, one is a hollow, one is the outline of it, and you merge them, and then you sand them smooth, and now you have a finished. You can do inlays like that, or you could do it with a light colored wood and laser it, and then sand it off and coat it with a.
But here's
varnish or whatever.
Here's the thing, Jerry. If you want to zoom in on me for a minute, I'll stand up. But you can do, and it's hard to do, but you can do mirrors.
Cool.
Course
When you touch that mirror, it feels like it's frosted on the front of it.
I know, because you do it on the back.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you're cutting. I did that years ago. You're taking off that little back gray layer,
Okay.
and then I would put them in LEDs in the background, and they're awesome.
But do coasters, of course. You can do the powder coated like tumblers and stuff like that. You can do another thing, and you're talking about etching glass. You can actually etch glass with it too. I've got a couple of plates over there that I've done for like the holiday plates. You know, go to the dollar store or whatever, get those $1 clear glass plates. Put a little blue painter's tape on it, and turn the laser all the way up, and it'll etch like crazy.
And you put it in that roller with the stepper motor, right? Like $100.
Well, yeah, but I built my own. I'll show you that too.
Okay. Yeah, all that we can learn from each other is awesome. Saves people money.
Yeah, I actually built a turntable as well with 2 motors, a couple of O-rings, and some 3D printed stuff, you know. And I got this. Well, I built my whole laser. I mean, you were talking about buying the Ortor.
Yeah.
And mine's a little bigger than the Ortor. And they're pretty easily expandable. If you get a little bit longer extrusions and some longer belts, that's the only limit here, you know.
You just have to tweak the firmware. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, the firmware really doesn't care about the length and the width. I'm not using a Z, so I don't have a Z on it. It's just X and Y.
So everything that you've done, you don't have a K40. You're using the one that you built.
Yeah, I'm just using the 20-watt module, which actually comes out. The actual burning power of it is what, 7.5 watts or something like
Tanner,
that.
how you doing?
So,
so what do you got? You got what they call the 20 watt is actually a 5.5 output, yeah?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I think measured output's like right at 7 watts.
Well, I heard it's between 5 and 5.5, but they might vary depending on where you buy them.
Yeah, you can get some of them from China, and they'll put out the 7. But,
Yeah,
and then you're going to pay a little more. You're going to pay like two and a half just for the laser. Otherwise, you get them for 120, and they're less wattage. And you got to look at them because a lot of times they're lying on the wattage. So you go look at a review. But my smaller one, I do all the engraving, and the reason why I bought that, I do the engraving on things, is because then I can't fit the bigger pieces of logs in my little one, so I can set that on and burn a big deer image, and then set it over here and do a cabin, and it works real good. But some of them you got to watch out, because if you run them continuously, they'll start failing and they just won't burn. They overheat. But now they've been making so many different lasers in China. A lot of them they're pretty good.
Well, the K40, you run water through it, and you can chill freezer bottles or whatever. Take like 2-liter bottles and have them frozen in your freezer to keep the water cold. My big question is, in my case, where money is an issue, should I build one, buy an Auteur, buy a K40 and modify it? Because I want to make things, sell them.
Jerry, what do you want to do with it? I mean, because if you want to cut black acrylic, I can do that with my module, but I can't cut clear acrylic, which you can do with a CO2 laser.
Yeah, I can cut
with my CNC machine.
With my old 40 watt, I can cut up to a 1/4 inch, and I dump blocks of ice in there, and I have a tank, and then I got a little glass thing I ordered from Amazon that shows the water flow, the propeller, and it all works really good.
Yeah, but like if you're cutting material, you can do that in a small CNC.
Yeah, everybody, you could get in a debate with all of this. Yeah. Every tool's got its place. I can do a better job with a scroll saw. Not a better job. You can do thicker things with a scroll saw than you're going to do with a laser, unless you go out and buy a $30,000 laser. That's a different story.
Yeah, then you go.
When I make production parts for companies like Lamocoids with the Lamocoids with acrylic and all that, the push buttons and the signage and all of that. It works awesome to cut that with just a 40K. That's why I do the engraving stuff with the smaller laser. That works. The pulse width modulation. Now, if you want to do big photos, it's what you want to pay. But I have a CNC down there that you can do both this or that. But the thing with the laser, it's so meticulous. You can get such tiny. I mean, I can cut out something so small and it'll be perfect.
Yeah, there is a lot of benefits to it, but again, it depends on what you're using it for. Like,
Yep.
as I said, like even cutting something in its average size, whatever, a CNC is a great way of doing it.
Yes,
If you
and it's doesn't cost you as much.
Yeah.
If you can afford a CNC, you can get away with it, and you can find tiny bits. But if you're gonna do, it depends. I don't buy nothing unless I know it's gonna make me pay for itself in 2 months.
I do have
So
that my next, after I get the Stargate dialing, because that's first. I'm not doing anything before I do that. Once I get the Stargate dialing, I am going to build me a CNC machine. Now
Now,
it's
the router.
I'm going to use a Dremel actually to begin with.
Okay, yeah, the small hand, they're good. They work great.
Yeah, but I can cut, you know, 1/4 inch aluminum with a Dremel. Just do it slow and do it, you know, meticulous.
Yep.
That way I can cut the pieces for a bigger CNC machine.
Yep.
With this one, you know,
is all it's you could have one as small as your fist. It's called It's called feed rates. You know what I'm saying? If I go get a 30-foot CNC, I've seen at the shows. I'm not kidding you. They got a bit that big around, and that'll dive into 3 inches of aluminum, and that'll zip to the end of the room. And I'm not kidding you, like 30 seconds. It depends how fat your wallet is, but you can get by. You can build your own and do a good job. But I'll give you one thing advice. I built my CNC probably 30 years ago, and I built 3 prototypes first. But one thing I'll let you know, Walter, is this is just my opinion. Now you got to do what you got to do. See it. Belts are for 3D printers.
Agreed.
Not for CNCs.
Yeah, no, it's going to be.
Yep.
There's no torque with them. So
yes, and I know. Yep, and I know people have what do you call it? V carves or no? What's the little one that a lot of people got? What's that?
The X carve.
Yeah, I know. I know people.
Let me interrupt real quick before Ricky Tanner leaves. He's having internet problems. Ricky, I was going to ask you how you like your new house and how you got everything all set up, and if you're going to drop in. But that sucks. You have bad internet. I hope it's not the area. I hope it's just something they can fix. But yeah, you know, I hope you're loving your new house and everything's going well for you.
Speaking of that, people started getting their equipment on Friday. I don't know if y'all been keeping up. Started Friday getting their equipment in the mail, getting set up. Starlink is online.
It's online for beta testing in some areas.
Oh, that's cool.
The northern United States and southern Canada. But what I'm saying is they actually going live, and that is so cool, especially for somebody like me or Ricky. Like me, I'm on a cellular internet. I've got a cellular modem that has a SIM card in it over there.
Oh, wow.
That's what I use for my internet.
That's the Elon Musk stuff, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm waiting to be notified that I can get into the beta, but I haven't got notified yet.
I can't believe he's not getting pushback from the controllers, the big wigs, you know, like Spectrum and Comcast. I can't believe, and Verizon and them. I can't believe, boy, he's not getting pushback.
It's $100 a month.
Hey, guys in chat, hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. I see we got 17 watching and 5 thumbs up. So if we had more, it'd be awesome. Thank you.
They're talking about what, $4.99 for the equipment and then $100 a month.
Yeah,
which is great.
That will come down
a month for 30 megabit per second.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. But that will come down. The latency is only 40 milliseconds, which is not bad. That can be better than some of than most of the cable and even DSLs out there.
Oh, there's people out in the country. They just have a modem and it's barely working.
Well, there's actually been latency times of like 19 milliseconds and 20 milliseconds.
Yep.
I mean that's just, dude, that's better than fiber in places.
It is. Some people's internet is so slow you might be sending messages via carrier pigeon.
I said that too to the guy. You might as well have a pigeon and you'd be faster.
Well, take it from me. Where Ricky lives and where I live, it's more like three-toed sloth.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll be right back. I'm going to get some parts.
All right. Walter, are you buying your cork off Amazon? I think you gave me a thumbs up for that comment the other day.
Oh yeah. I thank you. I appreciate that. But I get them off Amazon. It's just easier. And if I was selling hundreds and hundreds of them, Jerry, it'd be different.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. I'm selling 8 a week, maybe. You
Okay.
know,
I've seen a bunch of them on there that had a sticker backing. I was trying to find which one was good.
dude,
And then I've also read to get the one that's a real fine mesh cork, not the big cork, not the big chunky stuff.
I picked these up off of a website. They were on clearance, and I figured people would love these, man. And I was so upset. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
It's
Wow.
a flat set with 2 shot glasses, everything, right? And it's powder coated, so I can etch it off, you know, and make it. And I actually did. I gave one away, and I've got one myself. Nobody wanted. I'm like, come on, man, for Christmas. But nobody uses a flask or whatever, you know.
Not anymore.
So
What you do is for those is go to businesses and offer them to a business that you'll engrave them with the business logo and personalize them so they can give them as awards to staff.
well, one of the problems with that is they were on clearance and they no longer sell them. I only have 9 of them or 8 of them left, you know. So I've only got 8. At something that I could sell at a reasonable price. Now, if I wanted, you know, to charge $75 each for them, then I could do that. But you can't, you know. It's kind of difficult to do.
Put it out on eBay so you'll customize the logo. You'll customize the logo for someone and sell them on eBay or somewhere.
Yeah, I could do
You'll
that.
probably get buyers up there.
Yeah, the next comment I'm going to show on the screen is pretty funny. When it pops up here in StreamYard, they got like a 30-second delay. It seems like it's getting worse. Said it's 2020. We aren't drinking out of flask. We're all drinking out of the bottle. Yeah.
Not me. I'm out of a 40-ounce cup. As a matter of fact, I'm just about out of bullet. And Jerry, I went and got me a new toy today.
What's that?
I got me a new everyday carry today.
What'd you get?
Hold on, I'll show you. I got a Taurus G3C.
Nice.
I guess I just got it. Just got it today. And I put it on layaway so I didn't have to pay for it all at once.
Are you rural enough you can shoot out back, or do you have to go somewhere?
Oh no, I have a range set up in my backyard.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, no, I've got a big mound of dirt. It's about 7 feet tall, about 30, 40 foot wide, and plenty of targets. I never carried concealed before. It's kind of weird.
Oh, okay. Do you need a license down there?
You do?
Okay, some states do, some states don't. Do you have open carry? Is open carry allowed without a license?
We do not have open carry.
Okay, in Michigan we have open, but if you want to do concealed, you have to have a permit.
You can open carry in Nevada, but you shouldn't. Let me just put it that way.
Well,
So-
you can open carry in Nevada. You can open carry in a lot of places, and a lot of places don't even need concealed carry permits. Like my cousin's moving to Kansas; they don't need one. You know, but the cool thing about Florida is most states, minus some we won't talk about, reciprocate their concealed carry permit. So, you know, so I'm good really if I move around. Ivan's plans can be printed on an Ender 3. Yes, they can. Matter of fact, I have a bed of can openers or bottle openers printing right now. And if you don't know what bottle openers are, then you just have to go check them out.
Is that the ones with the pennies in them?
No. These are AR-15 bottle openers.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
You guys were talking about lasers. Here's a sample of a box. Now this was cut. The hinge is cut with the 40 watt, but then the rest is all engraved with the smaller one.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's really nice.
People like these. When I designed this, people like these, you know, thinking it's all notched together and glued. Well, to save a ton of time, I thought, well, why even do that? It's just getting super glue anyway. The inside, just make it look like it's jointed. So that's just engraved on there to make it look like it's glued together.
Yeah, that's nice.
And when we were talking about, and that 3D printing changed the world, because here's my speed bike, and when we're talking about these little intricate parts that I did with the laser, it's a machine gun. Well, now you can do that with a 3D printer and get it so accurate. But before the 3D printers came out, all these little pieces were made with the laser.
Yeah, for the small piece, I would probably do them on a resin printer.
Yes. Yep.
It'd be super smooth finish, to be done.
Yep. Now, when I built that, you didn't have 3D printers. Now I got a resin printer where the chest piece I stick on the end of my finger, and you can barely see it. But if you take a scope and look at that little chest piece, you can still see the two wires in there. They're as thin as my hair, and the steps, you can see them. But this is that small laser that like what Jerry was talking about buying. You can do, it does a good job of any kind of engraving.
Yep.
And then I got all my settings written down because I was experimenting with different pulse width modulations on it for photos on different colored wood.
Yep.
And it really makes a difference on the different things with the wood that you use, how it comes out. And one thing is, all I can say after years of doing this, quite a long time, is write your notes, because you'll forget. I forget otherwise. But here's the clock I did.
Cool.
And this was all done on that small laser now.
Oh, wait.
Cutting board.
Damn, that's a good idea, because I've got some of those just ready to go.
Oh, it works awesome on bamboo. And that stuff is so cheap at Walmart. Go pick them up.
Hey, Dixon, show me the back of your clock, the back side.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a clock module. I mean, they're like $2 or something at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yep. And
That's
you can
awesome. That's a good idea.
you're taking a $2 piece and you're turning it into $30. I mean, you
Dude,
get the right people with in the right background scenery. I got the ducks on top and the clouds, and then I thought I'd put a couple animals in the cabin. But you could see, you think something's wrong with the laser, but you could tell the difference in the color of the wood. Look at how it changed.
Yeah, it blackens it, burns it.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful how it really makes a difference with the lasers. But
Is everybody using Lightburn?
no, that's a good one for the money. But I bought T2 laser for $40. And I did experiments when I told you I had to redo my stepper motors on my 40K, or they call it a 40K. Mine was bought years ago. I downloaded Laser Gerbil. There's a French guy that invented Laser Gerbil. It's totally free.
Yeah.
And I experimented with them too, and I paid $40 for T2 laser, and that Laser Gerbil is awesome.
There's a guy. Let me see if I can find the website.
Yep, he's got a blue and red logo called Laser Gerbil, and it works awesome.
No, there's an online guy. There's an online company.
Yeah. I built an MPCNC out in the garage that's 3 foot by 3 foot, and it's got a Makita router on it. And around 3 months ago, when my wife went to Florida to visit her parents, I needed to do my firmware, and I never did get the firmware put on it. And I suddenly went back and started working on it. I need to work on it, and I told her I was going to make signs, sell them, and make extra money. Well, now I want to get a K40 laser, and I'm trying to justify to her me being out $400 to buy one. And I said, well, hey, I can make coasters. I can do this. I can do that. And, she's like, well, what about the other projects? So,
yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I diversified years ago, so I got lasers and CNCs, but I built everything so I don't have no overhead. The same with the 10 3D printers I have. But with these, if you buy a 40K laser, Jerry, make sure that you get that Rudy controller. I think they call it Rudy, because then you can use Lightburn, and then you can go to town. It has real pulse width modulation.
hey, David.
you can also.
Yeah. I've been watching a ton of videos on it, and they say to upgrade the board. That way you can run Lightburn, etc.
Yep.
And do this and do that.
You should also consider Kiri. It's called Kirimoto. Kirimoto can do, and it will generate G code for FDM, for CNC, and laser. It's really good.
Yeah. The free open source Gerbil, laser Gerbil, T2 laser, they all generate G code. There's a lot of them out there now that are free. It used to cost money for that.
I use Kirimoto for CNC, and it's really good. And you just click on the link and you choose whether you want FDM, SLA, CNC, laser, whatever it is, and it will generate the code for you. But I find it works really, really well.
Yeah, I have the V-Carve Pro, but years ago when they didn't have that, I jumped hoops. I got away because I hacked a copy of the old Bobcat, and that did my G code interpreting. It was Bobcat 18. I think you're up to 24 already.
One project at a time is not possible. I don't know about you guys, but I got a lot of things going on all the time. I work on this, I work on that, I work on this. I don't,
Yeah, you gotta take one thing and focus on it and make money with that, and then jump to the other one, and then you're all diversified like the 3D printers. But like I was saying, if get a job that'll pay for whatever you buy, it's got to pay for it in 1 or 2 months. That's the way I look at it. And then I just kept buying more printers, and they paid for themselves, within a month. And then I jumped over, this was years ago, and then I jumped over to the laser. Back then, now you can get one for $500. I paid $1,800 for mine, and I ripped the stuff out and put my own electronics in it. And because, that Chinese stuff is
junk. I think the K40 is not a 40. Everybody says it's like a 30 or 35, but nobody really knows because they don't release their information.
It's about a 35 to 38.
And a lot of people say get one with a watt meter. Well, they're all digital now. They don't have a watt meter, but you can always install one for $5 off Amazon. That way you can be more precise on your,
Mine has the old watt meter. That's the only way they came back then. Yeah. And then you could actually see the milliamps, and that's what you want to see, what it's sucking. I don't have that little power supply they're putting in all the 4Ks and blue power supplies. I have the old original flat circuit boards with all the old components on it yet. And I'll tell you what, I keep telling people that's 20 years ago, and it ends up being 25, 30, and that laser tube is still working great.
I think I'm going to bypass the K40. I'm going to go straight to a fiber laser. I need to do some engraving. I was talking to some of the gun guys today, and they want stuff engraved on their weapons all the time. And in order to do that, you really need the fiber laser.
Yeah, for metal, for metal and glass and stuff, you need to have the fiber. But they're ridiculously expensive.
This was solid brass that was engraved. That I had a Navari 3D printing. I had him on a couple weeks ago.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's all what you can afford. Push to what you can afford, and then keep upgrading. Cool. But those mirrors that Walter had, you can do this. You can do the same thing with a CNC and a little diamond tip.
Yeah.
You can engrave the backside and then put an LED. It'll light up like a Christmas tree light.
Yeah, if you buy something small, and then if you can get it to pay for itself, well, then you can justify buying a bigger one.
Exactly.
All right, I got to get off here, bud.
Well, thank you very much for stopping by, Walter. I hope you and your family have a great day, and your Stargate's looking awesome.
I'm hoping I get in here in the next week. So, anyway,
I'm good to see the finished product.
Whenever you need somebody on, man, just give me a holler, bud.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a good one.
Yeah, Walter's a great guy.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool when it's finished.
Anybody in chat have any questions on Facebook or YouTube, please ask. If you'd like to join in, I just posted a link there if you want to join in and talk about hobby stuff. If you join in, try to refrain from cussing or being obscene or anything like that. We don't want to go there. And we don't talk about politics.
Especially that.
How you doing, buddy? How's it going?
Howdy.
Nice to see you.
Gentlemen. How's it going, Jerry?
Gentlemen, I've never been accused of being one of those before.
Oh, God.
Turn your mic up just a little bit, Trevor.
Tell me when I'm better.
Good.
Perfect. So what y'all doing?
I'm just hanging out. I'm rearranging and stuff, as you've seen on my pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to make things look better. And we're talking about lasers, and I'm trying to determine if I want to get a K40 and which one I want to get. Obviously, I've seen a zillion videos. I need to upgrade this, and this automatically.
Healthcare in general, So,
Yeah,
it's going to be
oh.
interesting. It's not going to be. There's got to be some.
Somebody's got YouTube playing.
I thought somebody was talking.
Yeah, somebody's got YouTube playing there. Oh, I think it's a guy with the remote control in his hand. David Tetzel.
Yeah, you remember these little things that we bought?
Is that a pie holder?
No, you remember these? This is that rock chip that we're selling for $15 on Amazon.
Okay, no, I don't have one.
What did they do? What did they do? Router or what?
They're kind of in between a Pi 3 and a Pi 4.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But they were only $15 on Amazon. They were originally a surveillance for your network, and they must have had a big order for them and couldn't sell them, so they were dumping them on Amazon. Guys have been buying.
They're like the Pi hole devices. Is that what they're like?
It says a security sentinel.
Yeah,
Okay.
security sentinel. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's got a gig of RAM on it. It's a 1.8 gigahertz processor. It works great for streaming video, but it doesn't work great. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to come in with it on Firefox, and there's just not enough computing power to do both sides of the video.
Yeah, I do a lot of work with pies, a lot of stuff with them. I use them for astronomy, and I use it for other stuff as well. A lot of stuff. I really like the Pi machines. You can't go wrong. It's $35 for a Pi 4, and it's a full blown computer. You can't go wrong.
No, it really is.
Yeah, but the nice thing about these they were $15. You got an 8 gig memory card, plus you got the power adapter in it, and it's got 4K HDMI output on it. It's super sweet for $15.
About $15.
You could use them to monitor all of your printers.
Yeah,
To set one up per printer and just use it to monitor your printers off them.
Has to make a network just to
I have
work.
regular Raspberry Pis on my printers, but I just wanted to try this and see what I could get done with it. It didn't have Linux on it, so I had to load Linux on it. And then it didn't have a secure browser, so I had to load a secure browser on it. But it's fast.
Yeah, when them first Pis came out, people would come over and they'd look at my TV, and I'd be on Firefox or something on the internet, and they say, "What's going on?" And I had a Pi Velcroed to the back of the TV with one of the Linux versions, either Mint or one of the smaller ones that it ran really good.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
chips.
there's one left on Amazon, only $100, still $50 cheaper than the original price.
Yeah, I use my Pi to control my telescope.
Oh, that's a smart
sure.
idea.
Yeah.
Right there, that's a smart idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to take out the telescope.
Yeah, the amount of peripherals that you can actually plug to it for it to track your motions is
Oh, it does
tremendous.
more than that. It does a tracking. It does go-to. It does what's called plate solving, where it takes a photograph and figures out where in the sky it is, and then adjusts the telescope to the right location. And even then, on top of all of that, it actually while keeping the tracking spot on and plate solving, it'll actually do all my taking all of my photographs. I just have to tell it what I
Hey,
want,
Brandon,
and it just goes off and automates it for me.
that's my son Brandon, guys.
Hey,
Howdy, friend.
Hey, how are you?
I was about to say I know that last name. I've seen it before.
Yeah, so I automate everything with the Pi in my setup. I mean, once I have it set up, I just use my tablet to talk to the Pi, tell it what I want to do, hit go, sit back, and then it automates. It could run all night long without me even touching it.
yeah, if you want computing power, I use the Pi. If I want motion control, then I use the Arduino.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Arduino is like a servo. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what it's for. It's a controller.
Well, I think what happens there is Arduino was doing really good, but it literally went into mechanics control, like kinematics, really. And
Yep.
then Pi came along, and there's processing power, but
Yeah.
when you can run all these machines in a beat, adding hertz doesn't really do much to these machines. But
Yeah,
a Pi for anything else that has to control and follow and telemetry, it's amazing.
Yeah, What a I love your yeah. That's Jerry's becoming a kid again with all of his multicolored lighting.
You hear the music?
No, not there, but I heard it today because I saw the
That's
video you
sweet,
posted
man.
earlier on.
Playing Low by Flo Rida. I love my Alexa. It's really cool.
I know what I was going to ask you, Jerry.
What's that?
How do you like that? How do you like that chair? I see a lot of people have these gaming chairs for like $100-$200, and I was wondering how well, if they're pretty comfortable, or I don't know if I'm going to miss my rocking chair here.
Oh,
Yeah, the one I'm in now, it swivels. It doesn't recline. The one I have in my computer room, where you can flip an arm on it, completely lay back.
mhm.
It depends on your weight, really, because most chairs I get, because I'm not skinny, a year or two and I wear them out. It all depends. Like my son there, he's got one he can recline all the way back in. You know, some
Yeah,
people
I would-
back, some don't.
I would need something like that. I'm 60 years old, so when I want to take a nap.
Where's it at? Where's the other one?
Fantasy Lab.
Fantasy Lab.
My director is talking to me in the background, and I can't do both, so she can type her comments. Oh, she said she loves me. Okay, all right.
All right, we heard that.
Check this out. You were talking about the K40, and with 3mm wood, you can cut things like these
Oh yeah, yeah.
rather quick.
Cool.
And you go into places like Etsy and look at the prices, man. People are asking like $400 for these things,
Oh yeah.
and they take nothing to make. They really don't.
Yeah, there's people. It's you got a few people out there. There's people out there with that'll pay. I mean, they have money. They don't care. It happened to me on certain sign and decal jobs and 3D print jobs. You know, it's like, okay, now I'll take it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to remember when the industry, like when the hobby started, because I mean, in 3D printing is like what 20 odd some years older than
Yeah.
we're talking about. But when it started, I mean, when the hobby started, you either knew somebody that could make you the parts, and you had time to make it, or you had $100,000 laying around to
Yeah.
buy a Stratasys, and then it just got cheaper, but it never went away. You either have time or you have money. You can't have them both for this kind of hobby because it'll kill you.
No, you're gonna get people with the money, and they don't care. They'll say yes.
You know, the K40 is available at Walmart for $348.
You got to be a little.
Yeah, Walmart. I just looked it up, and
Yep,
Walmart.
Walmart sells them from China, and they
Yeah,
have
you gotta-
different sellers. It's kind of
you
like
gotta-
eBay now.
You got to really check out the reviews because people will get burned on them tubes.
Yeah.
That,
Well, they say that if you get one that's got the wide control box, it's got the small tube, or vice versa. You got to get one with a narrow. They got a narrow and a wide on the control box on the right side.
Yeah.
That's what I've been reading.
what ended up being really, it's actually like how much you want to pay. Because when it comes down to the source, the CO2 tubes, there's only 2 manufacturers in China, and we're all getting them from China, all of us. Boss is getting them from China. So no matter who you're saying, like they're
Yep.
getting it from China. So it's how much you want to pay for that. So if you want to buy like, I don't know, a 60-watt laser, the light bulbs are always going to come from the same Chinese company. You just want to, what do you want to pay for it? That's pretty much it. When it comes down, I heard one of you guys earlier is like the board, the control board, because you can either go 32-bit, like what we have, what do you call, I don't remember that, the mini Gerbil, all those kinds of boards, or you can go with a Ruida board, which is a professional CNC style controller for $100. So it really does depend what you want to do. And if, like with us, we're tinkerers, so eventually you're gonna take it down and do something to it. So plan ahead on that in mind always. Like if it's not gonna be the M2 controller because you want to make it bigger than the Ruida, all you're gonna do is go in and plug it into the actual board. And you
Betty
have all your
Boop said I was
again.
Betty Boop said I was too bright, so I turned down my brightness. Does that look any better, people out there?
Yes, that looks good.
Okay. Now, right now, my room is completely dark. I have a box light in front of me that's 2 foot by 2 foot, and I've got cardboard blocking most of it off. So I've only got a 1 foot area that's beaming light at me.
That's a good idea.
It's like when I was talking to Jerry, I told my steppers went to heck on my laser. Well, them things were 6. They were by a unipolar. They were 6 and 8 wire steppers, so I had to throw them out. And I had a bunch for the 3D printers. I put them in there. I threw I threw the old Arduino with the ramps on it, and I was all good to go. I used laser Gerbil and did a bunch of tests, and it was all good to go.
Yeah, I like Laser Gerbil actually. That's a fantastic little program for the right price.
Liam, how many? You just have one laser, Liam, or you have more than one, or?
One. I don't do an awful lot of stuff with laser. I do. I'm more into the 3D printing. I do an awful lot of 3D printing.
PM me that link if you would on Walmart. I'll take a look at it.
Sure. Let me find it on my computer because I pulled it up on my phone. So just give me a second.
One thing I don't like about ordering from Walmart, and you guys probably have found this out versus Amazon, is that they break the order up. This will come in 2 or 3 days. That'll come next week. It's all over the place. They're not consistently right away. And I've got 2 Amazon places here in Vegas, and quite often I could order something right now and I'll get it tomorrow. Quite often.
Yep.
Sometimes I have to wait 2 or 3 days, but usually next day.
You're not gonna.
What center comes from?
I put it in private chat, Jerry.
Okay, thank you.
It's
There's nobody.
It's a 5,000 character link from Walmart.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's huge.
Hey, Liam,
Yes.
check out the Facebook that I posted in there, and check out the guy's telescope / camera. He's a 3D printing god.
Okay, laser guys, what do you think? Sorry, David. What do you think about the shield that's on it that comes on a CO2 laser? Do you think that that's fairly safe, or should you go out and buy quality glasses off Amazon, not a $5 pair, maybe spend 20 or 30 and buy something better just for the, or get a UL rating, or what do you think?
I think it's fine. I've had mine. They got that orange piece of glass, and it's fine.
Dave, I have a similar setup. I have set up something like his. But I have different with mine though. I use different types of telescopes on it.
He just got published in some big journal.
Yeah.
Some of his pics did.
Yeah, I have a
Full Throttle Junkie, thank you very much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Donations help me pay my power bills and everything else around there. It's awesome. Thank you very much.
It helps you pay for StreamYard.
That's $25 a month. Yeah, Amazon just sent me $193.20 yesterday. That'd be from donations slash a tiny little bit off videos, and I put it towards my power bill. So they took care of most of my power bills. That was awesome. Any little tips or extras I get, it helps pay bills or help the hobby or whatever. Because I have a ton of medical bills I'm working on. So thank you very much, Full Throttle.
Not hobby, addiction.
Addiction, yeah. So
fully blown.
Yeah, and I've got so many models behind me. Like I said, I've always said I need to sell them, and someday I'll have an Etsy store. I have enough members on Facebook now that I can get a what's his name?
Bender.
Let me see Bender. Hold on. Cool. Nice.
I love wood filament. It's fun to play with. I got boxes of models, dude, and my wife was like, "Sell them." I'm like, "But they're mine." But I go around with boxes and I'm just throw them away.
I don't know PETG.
Yeah, I've got 2 rolls of wood filament here. I'm not doing much with right now.
Yeah, I don't have any wood. I have a lot of other stuff, but I do a lot of PETG. So, PLA for me is is my prototyping. When I get it right, I jump to PLA and I print it in PETG.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Yeah,
I'd use PETG for some small stuff, like that silver rocket is PETG and the Hubble is PETG, but most of the stuff I do is PLA. The rockets and stuff are PETG. Anything that I want to keep around and I want it to last.
ABS.
No, PETG. I see. The way I see PETG as we've got ABS and you got PLA. and they got together and they had a kid.
I had a kid.
Is their child, which is the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. I'm looking for my roll of Kynar.
Yeah. I buy Pete and Gene 2.5 kilo rolls.
Oh, there you go.
Kilo spools, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed YouTube done some updates. When I went in to edit my video, they moved things around.
Yeah.
The advanced tab, everything's down below, and they're changing things around.
They've come out with a whole new user interface now, the new dark user interface.
Mm-hmm.
And it's harder to find stuff. It's going to take a while to get used to.
Mm-hmm.
They forget that some of us are old, and it's hard to learn.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Yeah, some people say I should buy my K40 off eBay. I've been reading here and there because then you got to read something about a return policy. It'd be easier to get things fixed. And they say don't go off Amazon because eBay would be better if there's something goes wrong.
Both of them, I guess, the best case scenario if you're dealing with China, and I'm not trying to burn on them, but if anybody
if
Chinese,
I order it, I'm not going to order it out of China. It'll come out of the U.S. like California or something. I know it originally came from China, but if I order it, it's already going to be here in the U.S. when I order it. And typically, when I order anything, if something goes wrong with it, I fix it. I don't usually contact the company. It's a waste of time. I just fix it myself.
Yeah, no, that's the case. I mean, like I showed you that link for 220 from AliExpress. It comes down to how long you want to wait for it.
Yeah,
6 to 8 weeks.
Amazon and eBay, I literally do look at them the same way because Amazon, if it goes wrong, you're gonna be like, "Here's your crap." Give
6 to 8 weeks, I might forget all about lasers. I'll be interested in something else.
Yeah, Amazon has a pretty good return policy.
And then eBay, if you pay with PayPal, PayPal will give you the money immediately, and you get to keep the price of crap anyways. So either way, you can lose. It's when you start going like into AliExpress and Alibaba, and like you don't really know the vendor. You might end up with a little laser pointer with a $300 bill and having to fight him up for it. Like, it's like Wish.com.
I'll never own anything that can do cut brass like this, but that is really awesome.
Again, you may remember I have 2 of those coming in November, and each one ends up being like what I paid for my very first one.
What kind of money are we talking to buy something that can do this?
For 20, I mean, you can do that for 20 watts. You just gotta wait a little long. It's more faster for 20 watts. But for that, I don't know, probably about in between $1,200 and $1,400, you can get a fiber unit. And again, they go bump from there because if you wanted to be able to do that fast and do a gun, or if you want to be able to engrave a knife that is made out of harder steel.
So it's a fiber laser then, right?
Yeah, those are fiber lasers, and it starts out again. You can get a CO2 laser of 160 watts or 120 watts, and it starts burning some of the metal off, but it's never going to be as precise as a fiber laser, which is like literally changing the chemistry of the top of the metal as he's burning it.
Yeah.
And since I built that other room right next to my spray booth, I could bend it right off the wall there. I could just cut a slot and I could bend it right off the wall.
You'll have to.
One of the things people learn is that if you start like steepling glocks with a laser, you get cancer if you don't bend the polycarbonate. Well, not for your lungs, so you're breathing it.
Jocko, that was in chat earlier from South Africa, had a great idea. He said, just get a little mini fridge, cut a hole in it, have your bucket of water in there, and you just constantly keep it chilled and run the hose out. And that's better than freezing bottles or anything like that. It'd be a simpler idea. And throughout the years,
have it in a different circuit, and it's going to take less power to kick out that refrigerator to keep that refrigerator cold. That is going to do a chiller. A chiller is going to a beauty.
Sure, that's what he's talking. Is all that is a chiller.
Yep.
Type of chiller.
But again, remember, a chiller is because of the content, the amount of fluid that the chiller contains.
Yep.
Like you grab the refrigerator, you put your bucket in water, and you plug it for a day. You don't use the laser for a day, and all of a sudden you have a bucket that is about 37 Fahrenheit, right? And it's continuously doing that, but it only kicks that compressor to cool off the refrigerator just a little bit. Instead of every time you turn on the chiller, it's taking 20 watts out of the thing to cool out and turn on that compressor to cool off that water again. And a lot of people kind of don't think of that because it will look ghetto to have a mini fridge beside your laser. It's a perfect idea because it's actually designed to take less power when it comes out of your grid, out of your house. It was designed to take less power.
DB3D Dan is having a huge giveaway tomorrow over on his channel. So if you haven't, please go over and like and subscribe to his channel. at DB3D Dan. He'll drop a link in the chat there. He's gonna have a huge giveaway. I think he's got a little over 500 subscribers now. His numbers have went way up, and a ton of companies have given him tons of things to give away. So he's gonna have a really big giveaway. And of course, I probably shouldn't tell anybody this, so I have a better chance. But yeah, everybody should go over and like and subscribe to Dan's stuff.
There's enough for everybody.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah. He's even giving away.
Wow, he's gorgeous.
What am I trying to think of? The printer. I'm having a brain fart.
A mini.
I'm mesmerized
A
by
mini?
the
Yeah,
red.
Prusa Mini. There you go. Thank you.
Oh, nice. I don't have any Prusa devices.
I don't either.
Well, I not actually like Prusa, but you know, a friend of mine built these, I guess, with Prusa parts, and then somebody forgot that the wire from a lamp is not sufficient to get amperage from that to the board, and it started making marshmallows. It caught on fire. So, but this will be the closest to a Prusa. Again, I've been making Prusas in Prusa, put out the Prusa. So
You can make them, I hear, for about half price.
oh yeah, no, wait, no, significantly less than that. Like if you see Triangle Labs can afford to put up a Prusa Mark III out copy without the board for about $200, and do you think they're losing any money? That's the whole point. Like one of the Bear kits, like when they sell like those type of aluminum kits, you can build these for about the entire frame cost me like, I don't know, $26 worth of 30-30. So I love Bruce and I love his products, but I just can't see myself paying something $1,000 that I can make for like $250.
Yep, I agree. I agree. When I started my farm 20 years ago, it's like I can make these print just as good. And I got a video here. I had 7 of these that I built a long time ago.
Oh, Mark Ones! Look at that.
I built these a long time ago, and they weren't even called 3D printers. They were called rep wraps.
We called them rep wraps back there. That was the Mark One, and you have the wave extruders on them.
Yeah, I had 7 of those, and they made me a lot of money. And then they started coming out when they first came out with the CR10s and all that. And I seen that design, I thought, that's gonna be.
See, here's the catch with that. The original from the CR10 copy everything from the Rebel project, the Rebel 2. And the Rebel 2 was a direct descendant from the Prusa i3 reworks. They just decided that instead of rods, they should use extrusion. And they're kind of laughing at Prusa because they're like, well, you know that this is better because Prusa kept the plate.
Yeah.
And it is a signature, but it's a speaker.
If you look at them 3D printers close, they didn't have the belts. I used to use fishing line, and it was so accurate. Spider wire. There was no stretching. It didn't stretch.
Well, I think when I came into printing, they were still trying to use encoders, and some people were still trying to use the little ball rod chain.
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious, print were hideous.
Yeah.
And then we tried rock and pinion, and then everybody's like, okay, well, let's just do GT2 belts. Well,
yep. I built one, and then I 3D printed the parts for the other 6 machines. And if you look at them, they got it's coming full circle around. They got the direct drive on all of them. And then it went all to bone tube, and I was getting better results because of the weight of the old direct drives. Now it's coming back around with the direct drives that are so light.
Yep.
Does anybody here or in chat have any idea what kind of a case I could make for these? I'm thinking maybe something with a slot and just drop them in upright. Because if I stand them on a shelf on their head, they tip over. You bump one, and then they're like dominoes. They all go down.
Not if you make the hole that they sit into the size of the top, so it fits good snug around it.
Yeah, I told my wife, I said, well, if I had my CNC done in the garage that I haven't worked on in 3 months, get the firmware done, I could cut something out and make me a little box for these.
You could do it a little bit.
Yeah, make a dozen holes and just put a little piece of wood with holes on it.
Yeah.
Jerry,
print that the same way.
Jerry, I need to drop off. I'll be back in about 10 minutes, okay?
Okay. Alrighty then.
See you then.
Okay.
I miss rep. I miss the spirit of
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's awesome. I just drill something with holes and drop them in it.
Yeah, just make holes. What is that? What is the size of the cap? About 10 centimeters or about a centimeter?
Yeah, it's just a little bitty thing.
Yeah.
15 millimeters.
Yeah, and
I
if you didn't want to take the time, you go buy a box of clothespins and you screw them on a strip of wood, and then you just clip the bottom, the tail on it.
hang
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And that way you can actually ever see all your colors.
You can see all your colors. Yep, that's what I was
That's
thinking.
an idea too.
Because you don't have to be stacking them behind each other to look for them. You can actually see them.
Sure.
Yeah.
The easiest solutions are always usually like this, like the cheapest. Always.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim Sellers, how you doing? You're welcome to drop in and hang out if you like to, Jim. If anybody wants to drop in and hang out and talk about hobby stuff, here's a link.
Or just take a needle and some fishing line and just put it in the margin through all of them and just hang them up.
Yeah.
And then all you got to do is just undo them and
take a little squirt.
take a little squirt.
Yeah, it comes out like toothpaste. It's kind of a pain to work with because you got to thin it out every time you use it.
Yeah.
Oh wow. But I bet the colors are amazing.
Here's what I put on all my printers, so I don't have to watch them auto shut off. I just 3D printed a box like this, and it comes forward at the end and hits the switch.
Hit the switch.
Turns it off.
People do that with
cool.
the CNC.
That's neat.
I made them, and they clip right on the end of all the machines. So after it's all done, I just have the Y-axis come forward, hit the switch, and.
But for example, do you let it wait? What's up, Dan?
I've got a delivery. Be right back.
Yep. Do you let it with the print finish, and you let it wait for it to cool off, and then it comes forward, or you let it?
No. When I do production parts, now I'm doing a lot of consecutive printing.
Mm-hmm.
There's three experiments I did a while back. I was talking to these guys. One was the robot arm pulling them off. The other one was a time delayed of 4 minutes, and then have it push it off. And then the other one was with Idea Maker. I just learned that software 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty good with it. And I like doing a consecutive printing because I can get my production parts done faster.
Okay.
So then it just comes forward at the end, and it just hits the switch and shuts it off, and they just sit there until I unload them.
Yeah, no. What I was thinking is, like, for example, if you have your hot end, it's got a piece of filament on it, so you're gonna have heat creep of it above the throat. Because if you finish the print and it comes
my son's
forward,
birthday present came in the mail.
the switch that turns power, then the fan that cools off the hot end allows for heat creep.
I never had that. Never had heat
That is
creep.
awesome.
Yep, and I turn them all off, and I'll show you this. I showed these guys. This was the other option, but this gets too complicated, and then you have to have another PC. But this was I was doing too, is dropping them in a box and just.
Oh, that is genius.
Can you continue printing?
That is as close as rep as we're getting self-automatization. That is awesome. Print the printer, build the printer. Print the printer, build the printer.
Yeah, the little robot arm, but I'd have to do some programming and get that all separate so it's not running off the laptop.
My next video, I'm waiting on the Sun Lu to send me some resin in the mail. The next day, I'll be doing my next video. Little curing station from Sun Lu.
Hey, Dan.
What's going on, guys? I know it's going to be real echoey, and I apologize. I don't have sound dampening up in here yet. So, but
did you get your drywall done?
Well, I did plywood. I didn't do actual drywall, but I did plywood, and that wall right there, and from that seam right there, this way, and then this whole back wall, I had to sheet today and get that done. I just put regular old like pressboard paneling up. I've got it insulated. I paneled it, and then some of the boards were already painted. I painted up the rest of it, touched it up best I could. And
hey, Dan, can you do anything to fix your video for tomorrow? Because you're really choppy.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on getting probably a direct line from the house out here, for tomorrow. Okay. Right now, I'm just running wireless off a repeater, and it's not.
Okay.
It's not the greatest.
Well, try to do it in advance so it ain't like, oh shit, I got an hour to go and it ain't working.
Or, no, it'll be either tonight or either I'll get it done tonight. I'll get the line run out here, or tomorrow morning, first thing, I'll get the line run, get it up, and get a test going just to make sure everything looks okay. Because
run to a buddy's house and scream if you have to. You know.
oh no, if worse comes to worse, I'll pay the neighbor $20. I'll just grab his Wi-Fi because his internet's better than mine. So I'll just run over and say, here's $20. One of the guys from the giveaways, gave me some money. Here's $20 for your internet for today.
You'll have to get a long cable, a long Cat 5.
Yeah, actually, if I go move my repeater, it'll probably be better. I just got to move the repeater where it's currently sitting at. But yeah, I've been out here all day busting butt, getting it done. So
yeah, my son collects Spawn. Everything behind him, there's Spawn, and I don't want to call them toys or he'll get mad at me. So they're like little action figure dudes.
Oh, no, wait. You see, because if you call it toys, then you need to tell me what's right behind you.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Those are collectible items.
Brandon.
Yes, it's collectible.
Dan hasn't seen that big Spawn set up in your house. Can you turn the camera and show him the big Spawn or no? Will the webcam turn? Let's see. If Dan's talking about the big Spawn that I done, maybe you can show it.
Does he have 3D printers or no?
No, he's not into 3D printing.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway. Give him time.
Or I'll wait and see if he can do it, and then I can full screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he ever wants to get into 3D printing, his dad can hook him up. I have plenty, don't I?
Yeah, I was going to say, he knows a guy.
Really?
He knows the guy that knows the guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I'm going to invite you later to a group that I have. This was sent to me by, what do they call it? Fast to Buy. It's a company basically that puts weird products, but they sent me this just to test.
Uh-huh.
It's $100 soldering unit.
Oh wow.
It's for free. But the other thing that they have is that they have returns like from the Creality. Oh my lord.
Hey, back up, Brandon, so we can see the head. Yeah. It's like a 250% scale. David Chambers had that designed for him over on 3D Model Crowdfund group.
Yeah. That is awesome. I love that.
That's a lot of PLA and ABS.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite prints that you've done.
Oh, that is crazy.
I've got the smaller one at 150%. I'm selling for $300, free shipping anywhere in the U.S. and I haven't sold it, so I'll probably unbox it and set it up here on my desk or something.
Waffle it. I didn't say that out loud in the Facebooks. Put it on a waffle.
Yeah, my soldering iron, I got a little bitty thing I bought off Amazon. It works pretty good. It's like $15.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a couple really big irons. Hold on, Brandon.
Now with this one, you can even do welding plastic because you can do the temp. Oh my word!
Yeah, that one has 3 different magnetic heads.
Yeah, whose model is that one?
I'm trying to think of his name. I think it's Alfredo's, but I'd have to look on my group and type in Spawn and search out myself and see who made it. I don't remember.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's got some different heads, 3 different heads for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Alfredo Lisa. I think his name is. I think that's his.
Nice.
I'd have to look it up.
That is nice. That is very nice. That is sweetness.
Yeah.
The hardest thing on those is to print out the chains. It's really hard. You got to print them at 0.10 and and try not to have supports on. Old time telephone ring and all that's Dixon. Okay.
Yep.
Work is trying to get a hold of me, and I don't work on Fridays. They should know that by now.
It's bad for the soul.
Thanks, Brandon.
But yeah, anyways, what I was telling you, Jerry, like basically, they get reality machines returned to them, right? Mm-hmm. The LDR and the LT002R and the LT page, and they'll send you the machine returned, and then you tell them what's wrong with them, they'll send you the parts. That's why I haven't opened it to everybody, because you kind of have to know what you're doing here to fix them. But it's a significantly drop price. I won't say numbers because then people's gonna get mad if I don't say the group and all that stuff. But significantly, like I'm talking about a third of what the cost of the machine is. So I'll send y'all the invite.
Yeah, I guess real quick to answer two things. One, Tim, no, I'm not in my usual place. This is going to be the new place. The view will be more like this when you guys see me. The door will be closed behind me, but this will be more the view you'll see. And then two, Brandy, as far as I can be, as far as I don't know if I'm really ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a train wreck, so I hope everybody comes along for the ride. You know, get your tickets in advance and let's have a fun ride. You know,
You bought the
it'll
ticket.
be
You got it in the ride.
it'll start whatever time it is for everybody right now. It'll start an hour and a half prior to now, so it'll start at 4 o'clock Central. So it's about an hour and a half earlier than now.
Yeah, I'm
It's
still waiting
easier
to hear
than-
from Coax 3D on that roll of filament that I won from Jim on Monday. I haven't heard from him yet.
Yeah, is it coming from Coax or is that coming from Jim? Is he getting?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I don't know
PM'd him.
either.
He said I'd be getting an email, and I'm just waiting for an email.
Yeah, Coax is right down the street from me.
Yeah, just tell Dixon to go grab it for you.
Yeah, if it's coming directly from them, I'm going to email them and say, hey, if you'd like me to review your filament with that free roll, send me some additional items, and I can make a couple videos out of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was in their building. I was in their
Aren't
buildings
they
when
in
they.
Florida? Are they
Pardon?
in Florida?
No, I'm right in Wisconsin. They're right down the street, down the highway here. Coax
Who they are?
Filament. They make their own filament. It's one company in the U.S. that they make their own. I went in there and seen all their extruders,
Jesse.
and I used to buy
What's
my
up, Jesse?
filament there, but I couldn't. I was getting it cheaper elsewhere.
Yeah, I fixed that problem earlier, Dan, so that every time I show a comment, it doesn't go in and out. It's
Yeah,
really annoying when everybody has to go small, big, small, big.
yeah.
I give you credit, Dan, for putting up your drywall. After I turned 50 10 years ago, I said, I don't know nothing about drywall, roofs, and I don't know how to use a pick and a shovel.
Yeah, this was the last of the construction projects I wanted to do, and I'm actually pretty lucky because my buddy, some of you guys may have seen him, he goes by Maker B or Bruce. I got pretty lucky because he was kind of the driving force behind getting this thing done because he's like, hey, you really need to get your office done. And I was like, yeah, I know, but financially, here's Shit Creek and here I am without a paddle. And he was like, don't worry about it. Let's go get in the truck. So I was like, all right. So we took a trip to the hardware store, came back with everything I needed, and, you know, finished getting everything done, got all the electrical plumbed out or, you know, run out and everything. That's what that guy up in the corner is right there. That's just a stubbed out piece that's going to run a conduit across the ceiling here and then run the conduit down next to that window right there. Because at some point I'm going to put an outlet next to it. And I'm running a direct drop from the box to there because I'm going to have a air conditioning unit in that window for the summer months. And then in the winter months, I'm going to plug in one of those little electric radiant heaters and just use that because this space is only 9 foot by 13 foot. So it's not a very big space. And one of those little radiant heaters will be more than enough to keep this place warm. I mean, my bedroom's about the same size as this. And if I turn it on anything more than like about a number 3 on the dial and on low, once I get it to temp, if I leave it on low and at 3, the room stays nice and toasty. So
yeah, infrared heaters work really well too.
Yeah, that was the other thought. If down the road, what I'd actually like to do is I'd like to put a mini split in, and then just do a mini split that does the heating and cooling, and just be done with it. You know, that way I can just set the temp as I want it to be this temp all year round. Set the mini split and walk away, and then at any point, if the temperature drops, it kicks on and heats up. If it gets too hot, well, it kicks on and cools it down.
That's awesome.
I'll just have to be careful because with the printers, my hope is the printers will be on this wall back here. Like I said, this wall will be a set of shelves. The printers will be there. I'm actually looking to enclose the shelf that they'll be in so that this way I won't have to worry about breeze and, you know, temperature as much. It'll be a pretty much that won't be sealed, but it'll be at least clear of drafts and holding those heat.
I want to ride it into battle.
Yes.
Here, let me full screen myself.
Yeah, that thing is awesome.
Yeah, that thing is gigantic.
Oh, that's looking good, Jared.
Bumper to bumper, 3 foot.
Jeez, that's a meter, man.
I've got everything I printed for this is probably like 10 or 11 rolls of filament plus all the resin parts. And this
I
right
want to
here
be a wise ass, Jerry,
is
and
extremely
say
heavy.
that thing's almost as big as you are tall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost half my height.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mr.
Jim
Sellers,
Sellers,
look at that.
$199. Are you out of your mind? Thank you very much. Yeah, I had to say that. Joe Telling I have that phrase stuck in my head. Thank you very much, Jim. You're awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that doesn't work very well when you're out in public, because that's what I think. Every time I see like $199, $299, $399, like every time I hear the 99, I keep thinking to myself like, yeah, I'm like, I can't walk through the store anymore without hearing Joel's voice ringing through my damn head.
I actually bought a box of Milk Duds a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, wow, these are good. I haven't had these since I went trick-or-treating as a kid. I love chocolate. I love caramel. It's like, wow, these are cool. So I think it was last week in my stream I held them up. So
You've been watching Milk Duds. You've been watching Joel too much.
Yeah. He got a case from one guy, and then the company sent him a case. He has like 2 cases. He's probably eaten one by now, I bet.
So what
Okay,
is
I
that?
do have problem with everybody trying to knock my teeth out. Like Trusa has the Haribos, Joel has the Milk Duds. Like,
Joel, if Joel ever made the 3D printing nerd printer, it would come with a little box of Milk Duds.
Yeah, anybody watching, please hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Leave a comment after the stream. I'd appreciate it. And if you want to share it, please share it for other people to watch. Because even though someone might not get to see it live so they can comment, you never know what people on camera are going to talk about. For instance, later I'll rewatch this to hear about what people said to me about laser recommendations. I'll rewatch my own stream. I do that on every stream that I usually do most of the time. So anyway.
Anyways, I gotta jump out for a little while.
All right. Well, thank you very much for stopping in. I appreciate it.
Have a good one. See you.
Take care.
Later.
Yeah.
Testing.
I got that laser in from Sergio. I haven't had a chance to actually look at it because I've been working on this. I figured I'll do the giveaway tomorrow, and then Sunday, depending on who's doing what, I might, if nobody's streaming, I might fire up a stream out here and point the camera at because here's the desk space I have. It's
wow.
It's about 8 foot long and 32 inches deep.
Wow.
So it's actually a little over 8 foot. It's like 8 foot. It's like 8 foot 8 inches long, the desk, and then it's 36 or 32 inches deep. So
grab a pillow and go to sleep on it when you get tired.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm actually thinking for right now until I get the shelves built back there, I'm going to put both of the enders up here. So I'll have both of my enders sitting up here.
Brandon, your mic's working. Say something.
Were you talking to me?
No, Brandon. He was talking. He said test, and then he go, now I can't hear him. No, can't hear you. He's trying to get his mic working.
Yeah, I think I'm going to probably jump out here pretty quick. I just want to pop in for a few because I'm going to go grab my computer and start tearing it down, like my big desktop, so I can bring that out here and start getting it all set up.
Yeah, everybody jump over to Dan's channel, DB3D Dan. He posted a link earlier in chat. And he's having a huge giveaway tomorrow. Please like and subscribe to him. And
if there's freebies, I'll be there.
You'll have more people than you're ever going to imagine because you're giving something away.
Oh, I know. The problem is like here, while we're sitting here, let me go look and see how many people have already signed up for the giveaway. I'll give you guys a heads up as to what the competition's looking like.
On that Google Doc, you mean?
Yeah, I got a doc that I've got here that's got all.
Yeah.
Are you nervous, Dan?
I've already made room for the proofs on my desk here, Dan.
That's good, sir. I'm glad you did that. And no, I'm not nervous. I kind of expected this, to happen. And you guys all know me. You guys know how I am. It's going to be pretty much the same thing. I'll just be toned down a little bit on my language because with it being a giveaway and there being more people, it's not going to be our usual stream, It'd be great if I could hit 1,000 subscribers by tomorrow, during the giveaway. Because if I hit 1,000 subscribers during the giveaway, Mr. Randolph said he'll throw in 2 more $50 gift cards. So that'll be $250 he'll be giving away.
Yeah, last week on my Hangout, somebody had dropped in and they got a little hardcore in their language. It was totally inappropriate. I apologize to a few people that PM me, and that's not acceptable. If you occasionally say the F word or shit or something once in a while, no biggie, but let's, don't go any worse than that. Try to avoid doing that at all, and don't talk about politics. We don't need to argue.
Hey, Dan, you should post a link to your Facebook so people can go in and sign up.
Oh, I'll grab the.
Is my mic working now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Keep talking. You had kind of an echo. Talk.
I was going to ask, what is IC 3D Toys for Tots?
IC3D is a company in Ohio, and they each year they do a they get people together with 3D printers to 3D print toys and send it to them, and they donate them. I know those guys. I've actually spoken with them a few times. I'm actually planning on getting them on one of my streams, but they're in Ohio. They're close by, but they do it every year for Christmas.
There's the link to my channel. So if you guys want to click on that in chat, and then if you go to there's a couple of videos to talk about the giveaway. And if you click on one of the links, or if you click on the video,
hey, put Drake on camera. Let me interrupt you for a minute, Brandon. Put Drake on camera so I show everybody my grandson. That's my grandson, Drake.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Drake. All right. Sorry.
No, all good, man. I get it. I was just going to say, if you guys go to my channel, click on one of the giveaway videos. In the description down below is a link to a Google form. Just fill out the form. I'm getting kind of lazy because I figure if I'm giving stuff away for free, I think people can chase a link, 2 links deep. I'm not asking them to go to one website, click a link, go to 10 other websites and click 10 other links kind of things. Just go to my YouTube channel and then just click the Google form link in the video chat or the video description.
Yeah, I've got around, I think, almost 1,900 subs, and it took me forever to get here. And I try to I try to do videos all the time, but it just, it happens when it happens. I quit thinking about it. I don't even care anymore. I get people when I get people. So
yeah, I was gonna say I haven't even looked today to see how many I was up to, but yeah, I'm 535. I was at 532 yesterday, so I've gained 3 more today. So
when everybody joins, I got over 5,000 subs on my Facebook group, and whenever somebody goes to join, it asks to please join my YouTube. And sometimes people do, sometimes they don't. But you would assume that on YouTube I would have a lot more because my face group has over 5,000, but I don't. So I don't know why. I think YouTube's the greatest thing in the world. You can find anything and everything on YouTube. Videos, movies, how to do things the wrong way. I mean, everything is here. You name it.
You get a lot of people, though, that they get one-track mind. They go to Facebook to look for something. They're only in Facebook. They don't think to... they don't think past that. At least I know I usually don't. If I go to Facebook for something, I'm there looking for something. So I go for that and only that. So.
Hello, Raymond. How you doing?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. If more people sign up and I get to 1,000 tomorrow, well, we're not doing 1,000 subscriber giveaway right away. I mean, it's going to take me a little while, so it might be a 1,500 subscriber giveaway.
How many are you at?
I need some time because. The problem is I can't convince people to give away stuff that close together back to back like that. The giveaway was supposed to be at 250 subscribers, and since the giveaway started, I've gained another 100 or 200 and some subscribers. So it kind of sucks.
Yeah. The reason, as everybody knows,
do 2,000.
As you know, everybody, all companies that give stuff away, so they get publicity, and then people go and buy from them. So be sure you just plug everybody hot and heavy and have links to them. Then you should be good to go.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust me. I got for tomorrow. I got Devin. She's going to take care of the back end for me, making sure that when we give a prize away, the person who wins the prize is eligible for the prize. Because again, if it's a U.S. person and it's a worldwide giveaway, they're eligible.
And then people, for instance, in my opinion, people need to be present too to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do need people. People do need to be there to win, because if you are not there, we're going to re-roll and give it to somebody else. So we're going to go ahead and roll for a prize. We'll give them about 60 seconds to a minute to 2 minutes to respond. If they don't respond, we'll move on to the next one. And so what I'm probably going to do is in the case of
people that win along the way, they'll be eligible for the big prize at the end also, right?
I'm still working that detail out. I got to find out how Mr. Moses wants to handle that, since he is the one sponsoring that prize.
Okay.
It is.
That's typically how everybody does it. They, you know, if they win during the wave, then on the big one, everybody goes back in.
Yeah, I guess they'll make sure he's okay with that because again, it is his money, and when you have a sponsor giving away $500 worth of product and accessories,
yeah, do it the way they
you
want to do it.
You do what the sponsor wants.
Exactly.
Again, you got to remember that that's the person putting up the money. They're the one who gets to say it how it goes, and if they say it's open to everybody, let it ride, then it's open to everybody, and we let it ride. If he says, you know what, those who win, it's one and done, then. You know, I mean, as they win, I know they'll cycle out. They'll win, they'll get their prize, and they'll disappear. And that'll kind of help out for everybody closer to the end because there won't be so many people in there.
But if people know they just win and only get one prize, they may stop watching at that point. So if you want more view time, you might want to include everyone at the end. That way it keeps everyone watching the whole way.
The thing is like a lot of people already know their stream is going to run for probably at least 2 hours. So if they win early, they'll leave and come back. You know what I mean? They're not going to stay and watch anyway. I mean, I'm not sure, but I know that's how it's happened in the past on some of the streams, like or giveaway streams I've been on. That's what's happened. People have won, and they know it's a big prize now. They can't win again. So they cash out and run. You know.
Liam, you know you got your mic muted. Liam, are you talking in the background? You got your mic muted.
I finished off a print today.
I've been talking to myself.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was wondering. I see you talking to somebody.
Andrew looks good.
Well, sometimes you have to do that to get good conversation.
Nice.
Pick it up.
Yeah, Liam, we weren't ignoring you. We just couldn't hear you.
Cool.
That's okay.
Yeah, and I did it so it's got
Hey,
pins as well, so it lines up.
I'm married. I'm used to being ignored. It's okay.
So it's got pins in it so that I can click them together and have them line up nicely.
Well, that's nice.
Liam, are you married?
Brandon, that's Andrew S. He's a new moderator on our group.
You're used to being ignored. Do you have children?
Yep.
Okay, you are definitely used to being ignored then.
And they're teens and in early 20s, so even more so.
I've got all the way from he'll be 21 in December to my youngest is 8.
I have two, 26 and 14.
Well,
26 and 14.
I got 7.
7?
I got 7 kids.
My son's birthday is on the 8th.
You have indoor soccer and a sub. Cool, man.
Brandon, you're going to be what, 32 or 33 in 2 days? 32? 32. Yep. Yeah. All right. Hard to remember.
My oldest is 42. My youngest is 20.
These kids, I'm like, one of you guys has a birthday coming up soon, right?
I raised Brandon by myself since he was 3 years old. I was Mr. Mom.
Good for you.
Not to move out.
Yep.
My mom passed away about 3 years ago, and at that time she had 32 grandkids.
Cool. Well, I told my wife, I said, at the rate we're going, between the two of us, there are 7 kids. If each one of those kids has 3 kids, we'll have 21 grandkids.
Yeah.
I said, but if any of them take after us and get divorced and remarried and get married, or divorced and remarried to someone who has kids, then we have more grandkids. So say that person comes with 3 grandkids, well then that one's got, or that'll be 3 more to add to the mix. I'm like, I started looking at it, I'm like, I was like, I got to figure out, I got to win the lotto just to afford all these Christmas presents for all these grandkids.
Yeah, I've seen a few people take their K40 laser, they cut the bed out of it, and they buy a little doohickey like I printed here off of Amazon out of metal. That way they can have a different size material in there just by cranking the bed up or down. Yeah. And one guy even took the knob off, mounted it outside of the K40 so he can crank it down out here and raise the bed height.
That's what I'm going to do with mine.
That's what I have. I put a piece of wood, I bolted, I actually used sticky 2-sided tape and put it on the metal part so you don't get no reflection or nothing. And you can buy them metal ones like that. I think I paid $17 on Amazon, and that's what I have in my laser. It works awesome.
Andrew, you have a laser also?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have a K40. It's down in the garage, and you get that really poor, really small grate. So that's coming out. I've got old car jacks just standard car jacks, and I'm basically going to cut a piece in the bottom, weld a frame onto the jack, so I've got 4 positions that I can level the bed so it's completely level, and then have it so that they're synchronized. So basically just put it so that when I wind one, once they're all level, then obviously it will wind all of them together.
Yep.
The only thing
you can gain some more room too. I took my plasma cutter and I cut that vent right down.
Oh yeah,
that vent sticking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim's talking about the digital ones suck. Everything I've seen that's new has a digital display. Just buy an analog dial and mount to it for $5 or $10, and then you got both.
There's an Australian guy who.
I was saying I got to step out, guys. So I will talk to you all later. I'll be listening in the background. My son just pulled up, but I want to start with the extra hands. I want to start pulling all the computer stuff out here because I got tower and 3 monitors and hopefully the 3D printers and all that stuff I want to get out here tonight. So,
well, take care. Thank you. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah.
Catch you later,
guys have a good one.
Have a good one.
Yeah, so there's an Australian guy who's got a lot of YouTube videos, and he shows how to modify them. So you've got the actual like visual water cooler. The one thing with the K40, and I must stress this to everyone, is to actually grind down the earthing screw, because it actually has a coating of paint over it.
Oh, yeah.
And I have tested it, and it is not earthing the case. Now, if you're powering that thing and you touch it and that suddenly just goes live, then you will die, because it is a high power firing laser. You know, it is not to be, fiddled with. If you get a shock off of a 3D printer power supply, fair enough, it hurts, but that will kill you.
I think it's putting out 20,000 or something like that. 20,000. Yeah. I bought mine 20 years ago, and that's the first thing I did. Well, I by trade, I'm an electrician, but then I got into all electrical engineering. That's the first thing I did. I took that back screw off, and I ground that all down, put it back on there, and then I grounded it to the water pipe.
Yeah, I hate getting shocked. It sucks.
Did you rewire the back plugs? The one that's generally you have your fan plugged into it.
Yeah, I have the old one that don't even have it. It doesn't even have the blue power supply. I have the old original circuit boards. So I ripped out the other stuff, the control part of it. And I changed it a second time just a couple months ago because the stepper motors were so old. They're the 6 and 8 wire unipolar. So I put the bipolar steppers in, and then I put an Arduino board with the ramps, and now I'm good to go again.
David Petzel.
Yes, I did.
So I don't have those plugs in the back or nothing. I got the separate power supply, the 240 volt that they send. I have one of the first original ones.
Well, how long did you buy it? You say first original. How long ago did you buy it?
Oh, let's see. I'm 60 now, and I had that when I was 27. When I was 27, I bought that. Like I said, I paid
Oh, he froze.
$1,800, and that was and CNC's in the basement, and that's because that's my game. And what I get a kick out of is that tube is still good. I must have got lucky.
You're kidding me. The CO2 tube is still good?
Yeah, I never used it, but I never overheated that. I always kept the blocks of ice in the bucket, and I'm still good to go. And
they used to make things better than they do nowadays. Nowadays, things are built to fail, so you spend more money.
If you keep the tubes nice and cool and you don't amperage them, you don't fire at too high amperage, because a lot of people just crank that knob up and they just keep turning it, and they just get to the point, even if it's just a tiny weeny bit over, it just wears on that tube. Another thing is that if you're in a cold garage or workspace, cover the entire machine at night with a cover, because they are susceptible to cracking at the seals. And literally, because I used to work with the big machines, what was 60 watt, and the biggest one we had was 120 watt. And the tube on that was absolutely massive. It was about $8,000 to buy a new tube for it. But that's the one thing we did every night. And I mean, these machines have been running for 15 years with no problems. And it's just chuck a cover over it, keep them warm, make sure that there's no moisture getting in towards the tube, because once again, moisture sits on the tube and it creates spots on the tube. And you'll slowly but surely start to realize that your tube is either going to crack or it's going to fail.
And I never ran distilled water. I ran regular tap water in it all the time. But I would suggest, if you're going to buy a 40K, if I was for cooling, I would put some like they put in your radiator in your car.
Antifreeze.
I would.
That's what I put in mine.
Yep.
And it
Raymond,
also stops
are you
bacteria.
Raymond Emsley? And you changed your name? Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Hello,
Can you hear
Tom. You're live.
There you
We
go.
can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Tom.
Do I have the mic off?
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
we can hear you. You're just talking low.
Yeah, that the
Probably 'cause
violator
that
from
thing's running.
Spawn that you put in there. Have you seen the price that it's at? £86.89. Is that right?
Yeah. I was going to ask if any of you guys know who made that model by chance, so maybe I can find a better price on
That's
it.
ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
No way.
Which model?
The
In
violator.
the private chat.
Oh, okay.
Because I'd like to get the model, like to get my dad print it, but I'm not paying $90 for an STL. Not happening.
Give me a second. I should be able to find it.
I'm looking at it.
Jeez, that's expensive for a model. Like
It is, yeah.
I'll contact the designer and I'll see if I can take care of that.
It dumped my whole printer. They sat there and watched me do it on live stream, and the printer is now gone when I open Prusa Slicer up.
Yeah, the modern day of things nowadays, all STLs are worth anywhere from $10 to $25, basically. Unless it's a full armored suit like Iron Man or something, then you're probably going to pay at least $100, $100 a quarter, depending on it. But like the Ghostbuster car off Colts, for instance, $10 and you get so many files, and it comes with everything. And I'm not getting plugged. I never got the file free. I broke down and spent a whole $10, which is nothing. And it comes with a PDF file, explains everything, electronics, what to use, how to use it, the audio file, the stickers, everything that you can print out.
Yeah, the problem about those armors and so on, they don't make them for the more rounder members of the community like us.
Anybody in chat have any questions? Please ask. Anybody on screen want to start talking so we don't all sit here and look at each other?
I gotta set up Prusa Slicer again because it just deleted my whole setup I just did an hour ago.
Oh, no.
For some apparent reason.
What are you slicing?
I was just gonna play with it. I haven't used it in so long.
Yeah.
For years, that's all I used was Cura. I'm still using the 15.4 for all of my production parts. But the last 3 weeks, I learned Idea Maker really well. So I did a bunch of experimenting between the two, and I kept getting all these scar marks on on the first layer, some scar marks like this. And then I found out, I looked in the G code here in the beginning, they're feeding out 20 millimeters of PLA, and then I could see it was dripping down, and then the first layer it would get underneath. But that Idea Maker, I think, is really good.
Yeah, Idea Maker is awesome. That is
Idea Maker is designed as well for. They're one of the few out there that actually is equipped for IDEX printers as well.
Yes. Yep. I'm learning all the features, and I'm going to slowly transfer over because all my production parts, I got a lot of them, and they're all in Cura, the old 15 point, because the algorithms is so awesome on that. I was getting such perfect smooth parts, but now as I'm doing the tests and comparing a lot of tests with the Idea Maker, I'm going to be switching over to Idea Maker.
Yeah, I'm going to build an Idea Maker profile for the Artist D, because they're going to start shipping the Artist D. The first 200 are going to ship next week. They're actually going to start shipping them. So once I get one here, I'll build an Idea Maker profile for it.
Yeah, Kenny, you just got to enter 3v2. I done a review on one a while back. When I leveled the bed manually, it was no big deal the first time, but then about a week later when I had to re-level it, something had happened. So you can't do it manually by paper. You have to run a G code file and do it, because the steppers, when they're unlocked, that Z drops down just a hair, so that when you start your print, you're like a quarter inch too high. You're going to go, what the hell? And a lot of people have had that trouble. And on Brian Vine's channel, BB3D, he had somebody design him a G code file for that, which he lists below his videos. I also have that listing on my YouTube channel below my Ender 3 videos or on my Facebook group. Go ahead and download that file. And when you go to level of bed, you run the G-code file. You have your piece of paper. The nozzle will go around 4 times, each corner and in the middle, and you can recheck it. Because if you do it manually and unlock the steppers, like I do on most printers, when I never had an easy ABL, the Z would stay there. It wouldn't screw down. But on the Ender 3, it moves too easy. It'll drop on you. You won't even notice it. And you're going to say, why in the hell? I just leveled it. Why is it a 1/4 inch in there? And that'll solve that problem.
Why can't I rotate?
What have you thought about, Jerry, using the spring anti-backlash Z nuts?
I haven't put one on it, no.
Yeah, because you get the ones with the spring, and what they do is they apply tension in both directions, and it should stop some of that sagging.
Okay, you got a BL touch he's putting on it, all right.
Yeah. Well, but you still have to manually, like, even if it would be touch,
well, you still got to
manually level, right? Unless you use the silicone washers, the springs, the silicone ones, then there's no flexure in those at all, so they don't really move that much. And you level it once, and then you're probably good for 6 months. But those anti-backlash brass nuts that you put on the Z's,
yeah,
that would actually should stop that platform from.
Yeah, I have those on my Hypercube on both my Z rods.
Yeah, you should try it on the Ender 3 Plus or the V2. That might actually fix that issue.
Whatever happened to Creality? Did they give up on that strain gauge? Remember they were putting a strain gauge on the nozzle, and then you would touch the bed with it, and it would level that way. You ever see that?
Yeah, Michael on Teaching Tech done a video on that also, where the pressure it levels at the nozzle.
Yep, they had a strain. You can design strain gauges that are so accurate. So they must have put one on their nozzle, and then when it comes down and it just touches the tip of that records that strain, that pressure. But I didn't see any more on it. I think maybe they gave up on it.
Spiral mode, didn't go into spiral mode.
More the bigger, like the guys like the what are they called? Lulzbot. They use they pass electrical current through their nozzle. And they use what's it called? What's the term? Where they actually measure the current. So they have 4 spots in the bed, and they touch that, and the continuity. So they actually do a continuity test in the 4 corners for leveling their bed. And also, there's no end stops on our printers. They actually use torque on the motor to activate their end stop. So
then they must have
all the way over, and when it hits a certain torque, it stops.
Yep, feedback.
Yeah. But they're actually moving to belts on their Z drive now, no more screws. Because the military find that when they're using, the military use the Lulzbot printers a lot. Apparently there's something on some of their vehicles, but they need to 3D print them on a regularly because they break, and they have to wait for new parts to come in. So they actually have them on site when they're overseas. And sand and everything.
I didn't do anything.
Metal screws for it. They do belts on the Z drive. You eliminate any issues with any sand or whatever getting into the screw to grind it, destroying it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. As long as that belt is made out of carbon fibers or something that does not stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's used, but I know they are moving toward using more and more belts instead.
So just turn it off.
I think Dave forgot that his mic is on.
Order some food for us as well.
Yeah.
I muted him.
The new the CR6 SC. Well, the 6R6 SC is a nice printer. As long as you don't let out the magic smoke, it's a great printer. That's its problem, wasn't it? Letting out the
only thing I've ever smoked was a buck converter. I hooked up a buck converter backwards. I was being dumb.
Done that 3 times.
The capacitor popped, and I got a little bit of smoke. I got son of a bitch. And I didn't have any extra ones, so I had to order some on Amazon when that happened.
Well, it happened a lot of the 6 SEs, the Kickstarter. A lot of them turned up and they smoked when they were powered on. So
Yeah, I used a lot of those buck converters because I got a set of LEDs on all my top of my printers. So a lot of them, some are 12 volt, some were 24. Well, you got to change it coming off the power supply because them LEDs are only good for 12 volts.
Yeah, I bought a few that you have to use a meter on when you check them and change the voltage. But then I started buying the better ones that are only a few bucks more. That's got the little digital display. Those were nice.
Oh yeah.
I use micro bucks. They're like this big. And you've just got on the back of them, you flip them over, and they've got channels that you cut. So you've got an adjustment screw if you want to just use an adjustable, or you cut the bridge between the adjuster and then you solder what power you want.
Mm-hmm.
And they're tiny. I mean, they fit on top of fans, like the thickness of a standard 50mm fan. So they're nice and easy. I might have one somewhere around there.
Yeah, when I posted my video with Flow Rider playing low in the background, YouTube, Facebook, they sent me a thing stating something about the music and they were going to shut it down or something. They never
Copyright.
did.
Yeah.
But Facebook did, and they said they were going to, but never did.
Yeah, they give you a warning is what they do that just go for copyright because they monitor all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any. The
crack chills.
But they're nice.
Wow.
Is there a button in it for adjusting?
See, yeah, you've got a pot. So if you want to adjust it,
all right.
Here.
Yep, that little one up in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the back, focus. Come on, ZYLTECH, you can do it. You can see you've got your voltages there. So you've got adjustment, and you cut that, and then you've got 12 volt, 9 volt, 5 volt, 3.3, 2.9, and 1.8.
Would you worry about those overheating?
No. Like these can go up to 1.5 amp without having actually a lot of heat to them. They're rated for 1 amp, but I mean, I've had one of these up to 2 amp, and that was just through a current regulated power supply at 2 amp, and it went through this fine. And I mean, it did start to warm up after that, but no, these run super cool, and they're tiny. That's the best thing about them. I can fit them into pretty much everything, as you can tell here. Like, that's a fan connector that went onto a fan, and that's it. That's all you need is your little fan connector, and it goes off to your fan.
They'd be good for LEDs and stuff.
Oh yeah, you can use them for everything. I use them in micro projects. So if I've got, say, like lithium polymer battery packs, should have
anything up to 2 amps as long as the voltage is right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like I use the 18650s in packs. These are just old recycled laptop batteries. I created a charging pack with the mini charge ones that you can get. And I've also got, find it here as well. These little battery packs, what are 3.7 volt at 650 milliamp. I have 800 milliamp ones as well, but they're perfect for little projects. If you've got like a speaker box that you want to put in a helmet or LED clusters, you get the bigger ones of these, but they're absolutely perfect because that mixed with that, and it's amazing because it just saves so much space.
Yeah, that battery pack, I use that for my Apache helicopter.
Yeah, you usually get them for RC. You'll get quite a lot of different ones. The cheaper Chinese ones say 1050 milliamps, but they're generally about 900 and something milliamps.
Yep.
But they're cheap and they're easy to use.
Yeah, there's a big one.
What's that? A 21C?
It looks like a 4-cell.
Okay, David.
That's a 6.
You were talking on the phone. I had you muted. Now you're unmuted.
6S 50C. Yep. I use those. I use these in my jets.
The EDFs need to pull a lot. The problem is that will kill the mini butt converter. Definitely.
What do you have for a jet? You used your turbine. Is it a jet cat or?
No, I've got a F86. 90 millimeter F86.
Yep.
That's the main one. Trying to think. Nah, The one up here, take the T28 up here.
Yeah.
That takes that's 72-inch wingspan.
How big a motor did you have?
That takes a 6S.
How big of a motor did you have in that Sukhoi?
That's a 60 cc.
Are you a Desert Air or a DLE or?
I will do both.
Yeah.
I do both, and then I keep these. So I rebuild every carb.
Sure.
So I keep. They both use the Walbro carb. So I keep those in stock, and I'll buy DLEs and DAs all day that people can't get running, and then I'll just rebuild the car, and that's all it was.
Yep.
Hey, 3D print newbie, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Jerry and guys?
Real good.
Hey.
What's up?
I'm loving this Omni Drop frickin' extruder. Other than, oh my god, it's loud. It is so
Jerry,
good.
your son looks like he has as many prints as you do.
Hey, those aren't 3D printed. He collects Spawn figures.
Oh, okay.
They're all Spawn. Just Spawn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an addiction, and you really should go see a psychiatrist.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
Llama, how many printers have you got?
I like my 3D printers when they make noise. I like listening to them. They're singing to me, and I can tell if they're making me $5 or $20 by the sound.
Yeah, no, the fans on this thing are wicked loud. I don't know if you've seen this on.
What was that?
I don't mind the sound of the 3D printers.
Okay, prove this.
Is my dog doesn't like the sound of 3D printers.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're all talking about making money from printing. I lose money. I don't make anything on my 3D printing ever. I've never made a penny out of it.
Boy, you're not doing it right. You can make a lot of money.
Well, no, I donate a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff, and I donate it. For
3D print newbie, did you see that comment from Keith Developer?
Yes, I do see that right now. Yes, I see that, and I got to figure out how to.
Yeah, Keith,
I'm gonna go back and get that sent to him.
I thought you were giving Filament 3D print newbie. I didn't know that you were wanting to give me some also. Maybe I didn't realize that.
Harry, if it's easier for you to get him the information because you have mine, then I got this session recorded, so I can go ahead and get it to him.
What the hell's it doing? I don't like Bruiser Slicer. The hell? It sets it up. It starts at like 10 millimeters off the freaking plate.
You got the wrong printer plugged in when you did your slicing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like Prusa Slicer. If I had a Prusa, I'd use it. But
Keith Developer, there's my email. Please email me so I can email you back, and I'll send you my information and Mylan's information. it's Mylan, right?
Yeah, Milan.
No sense.
And I'll
Milan,
send you information.
Milan, yeah.
Here it goes again. It just wiped out everything I put in it. Oh, no, it didn't.
Okay, I have a question which I know everybody's going to get in on. Everybody's been talking about the laser printers and cutters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just for little small basic stuff, as for adding little small pieces of things, what's the smallest you can actually deal with, or what is the basic you should actually go for so you don't have any problems later on in the future?
Are you talking cutting or just engraving?
Cutting. If I want to cut some plexiglass, I'm not sure if it's plexiglass or not. I don't know anything about that.
You got to go at least price wise. Then you got to go at least with a 40K or a 30 watt or to cut acrylics and wood and.
Yeah, you need CO2.
Yeah, the little ones. The little ones are for. I do all. I was showing these guys. I don't know if you were watching. The little ones are for. I do all my engraving, like this clock here with the little ones.
Okay.
And then my acrylics when I do production parts for industry for lamacoids and machine buttons and all of that. Then I do, or if you want to cut wood like this, nice speed bike, you got to go with a 40 watt. I use my 40 watt for cutting.
Yeah.
What kind of wood is that? Is that like a balsa wood?
This is this is. I was betting a guy. My wife's aunt and uncle. They wrecked the bathroom door. This is a door skin.
Oh, okay.
She got dye on it. And I says, "Hey, I'll take that door." I installed a new door for him. And I says, "Give me the old." What do you do with the old door? I says, "Well, give me that. You won't believe what I can make with that." So this is actually from a bathroom door, the door skin.
Okay.
So if we're doing engraving or cutting, you need to go with a CO2 laser. If you're doing engraving, you would do it with a diode.
Yep.
Okay. Because I've seen several videos on YouTube, which I try and watch and learn, and they say they're cutting, whether it's plexiglass or whichever else, and they're never saying what they're using to cut it with besides it being a laser cutter.
Well, the problem is most plexiglass is transparent, right? So
about the black glass.
The black, if it's colored, you can if it's thin, you can get through with a diode laser with multiple passes. If it's thick, if it's over like an eighth of an inch thick or more, you definitely need you definitely need a CO2 laser. And
no, I'm not trying to do anything like that. I mean, it'd be thin.
You still want a CO2 because you're not these Chinese lasers. You're going to engrave with them. You're not going to cut. It's going to take you a long time to cut an 1/8 inch piece of balsa wood, and you're going to have to do 12 passes.
Yeah,
it's not going to work. Them are for engraving, and the reason why I bought the little Chinese one, which is 7 watts or whatever, is because I can't fit my big pieces of my tree pieces that are that big around. I can't fit in my 40 watt. So I can take my Chinese one, I was telling these guys, and I can set it on one section and engrave the cabin and then engrave a deer over here. And I can keep moving it around because you can't fit them big pieces in there unless you buy a big expensive laser. But them Chinese ones are for engraving.
Yeah.
If the only one that's going to cut is a ZYLTECH laser, which is a true 7 watt, and they start out at $500, and you can go up to $700. ZYLTECH out of Texas, but
I heard you mention that earlier when you were talking to Jerry about them.
Yeah, you want a CO2 laser, and I don't care what you say. You have to have air assist. I mounted a copper tube for air assist on my compressor. My shop is downstairs in the basement. And to stop the noise, when I redid the stepper motors and the controls in it, I took it and I got rid of that air assist thing and I put a miniature fan on there, high-speed miniature fan, and that worked great as for an air assist. But you have to have air assist because when you do acrylic and wood, and you want that lens to stay clean.
Kenny Briggs, I have Raspberry Pis, a Pi 3 on almost all my printers. Even though I'm sitting right here, my printers are close to me. I run Octoprint and 1 Pi per printer. I don't run multiple instances on multiple printers because if the program was to go down, I don't want to shut down multiple printers and lose a job. But I love it. I have no problem whatsoever. And I've got 2 other printers. I simply put the files on the SD card and I walk over and pop it in. But I love using Octoprint with the Pi 3. And whenever I set those up, I went to Joe Mike Terrell, and I watched his videos when I set up my Pi 3s. But there are many people out there that have videos on how to set up a Pi.
There's good and bad though. I like the Pi. I have Pi 3s, I have Pi 4s, I have the new Pi 4 8 gigs. I will say the one downside of the Pi, if you're using Octoprint on a Pi, is if the power goes out, you have no routine print on power failure with a Pi. Because the printer is not writing to the SD card its data as it prints, which happens if you print off the SD card. If on the Pi, it doesn't do that. So if it goes down, you have to start all over again. You dump the print and you start all over again.
Yeah, I found 3D Print Newbie's email that he had sent me a while back. So if you email me that I posted in chat at jenap1@yahoo.com, I'll send you my information and I'll send you his information with his email.
If you have power, if you have a UPS for your printer and your Pi, then you're good. That's
here's
I've got Cyber Power 1500 VA. I have 2 of them, and I run like 4 printers off each one. But usually, I don't have all my printers going at once.
Yeah.
At one time, I have, and they seem to be fine. They held up.
Jerry, if you could zoom in on this, here's a metal business card. You can barely see it with the Chinese. This is the Chinese laser. Now this is just on metal. You can hardly see the business card. And here's the identical file with the 40 watt. See the difference?
Oh, wow.
That's a big difference.
Yes, that's the difference between, they claim you can do things with the Chinese one. The Chinese is good for engraving. Here's the difference. You can hardly see it. And look at it's the identical file test. And this is the 40 watt. That's the
You're
difference.
talking about the Auteur or the one that you would put on a Ender 3 or something, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about it's a copycat of the Auteur.
Yeah, because I think they're all Chinese. So if
Yep,
they're
all the same.
If we only bought American, which I don't know if you could find one, it would be too expensive, and it might even be Chinese and they'd relabel it. So that's happened a lot.
Well, the Auteur is only for engraving soft materials anyway, right? It's not made for hard materials. If you want hard materials, you'll have CO2.
You can cheat with it on metal by granite by taking and putting different layers of paint on it.
Yeah,
and that works awesome. I took a piece of granite and I sprayed the black paint, and then I sprayed I sprayed it all with that green, like the picture of a Hulk green, and then black over that. And then what the laser's doing is it's pulse width modulation. It's taking off the black paint, and then that green Hulk picture photo pops.
Yeah.
So you're just taking layers of paint off. That's the only way you can make it look awesome. A photo with a Chinese laser.
That looks good, Jerry.
Trevor McIntosh.
That looks good, Jerry. How'd you do that?
Mavari 3D Printing sent this to me. He was on my live stream a few weeks ago, and he showed all his lasers in action. It's called brass. I believe it was a fiber laser. This is very heavy. I think he said he sells these for around $25 a piece, and it cost him about $10 to make them. You got to figure your material and your time and everything. So, and he sent me a metal business card, but right now I don't know where it's at. I've still got everything disorganized. When I go on streaming, you don't get much done when you sit here and live stream for multiple hours.
To get squat done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm at 2 hours, 18 minutes. I'll go to 3 hours today, and then we'll end it at 3 hours.
Let's try it with Idea Maker and see if it actually works. Because it didn't like to work at Lead Prusa Slicer.
This is my second night in a row on a stream. I spent too much time online.
When you guys are designing programs and whatever program you're using, Llama or a model, do you have to go in and constantly resave it, or does it auto-save for you constantly?
Depends on the app and what you have for settings.
Yeah, you can go into the preferences and checkbox it to save it every half hour, every 10 minutes. It depends what software you're using, but usually you go into preferences and you tell it to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get
Fusion auto saves, but it doesn't really save. It saves it if you get a crash or something. When you restart, it'll come up and say, "Hey, you have a file in our cache that doesn't, go with what you saved last. Do you want to open that?" If you say no, it's gone.
Yeah, it's a recovery option. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a metal business card from Trevor.
Cool.
That's nice.
I like that. That's nice.
ZBrush only will save if you tell it to. You have to preset it in the preferences. Otherwise, it does not save anything.
Thank you.
Jerry, was that done with a fiber laser?
I'm not sure. I think if you go back a couple weeks of my live streams, when I have a special guest on, I had Trevor McIntosh on, and from Navari 3D Printing, and He's the one that made those, sent them to me, and he shows his lasers, and I pulled them up on the screen. His lasers working. I think it was the fiber lasers.
That's right. I did watch that. That's fiber lasers. If you want to make knives on metal and gun stocks and that, then you got to go with a fiber laser. You could do some, but they're very expensive. We have some fiber lasers down at work, and they're blasting on the barcodes on these products, and these products are going by so fast, and it blasts them. Fiber lasers are so strong, so fast,
and so expensive.
Yes, I'd love to have one, but I looked at the cost, and some of your cheapest ones were like 13.
Yeah, 12, 15 grand. Please,
yeah, and I thought, no.
You guys want to see something cool?
And the worst thing about it is those tubes are consumables.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm slow, Llama. That was down lower. I had to see it.
Yeah, I just put it up there.
Okay.
Isn't that a pretty extruder?
Nice design.
It's wicked light. It's about
wicked
less than
light.
half the weight of the Hamera. And I absolutely love this round heater. The more I'm using it, the more I'm liking it. The only thing I got to do is get rid of these crappy little freaking 10 millimeter by 40 spiral loud as crap fans. You don't know this is the Omnia Drop. It's a wicked nice 3D printed extruder that is unbelievably. I'm replacing my Hamera with it, and I'm going to keep it. If I can get it quiet, I'm keeping it. Because here's the Hamera. And this thing's a brick compared to that.
You should go water cooled.
No.
Hold it up. Your full screen.
That's the Hamera. That's what I just took off of that printer.
No, that's direct drive.
Yeah, the Omnia Drop too.
That's a lot. It looks like a lot of weight.
This
I was going to
is
say, is that a lot of weight?
This is the Hamera. This is the E3D Hamera.
Yeah.
Thing is that Omnia Drop, the freaking pancake motor on it, because it does the planetary gearing. I don't know if you've seen it. It uses that rotary planetary gearing.
Yep.
So there's not a bunch of like gears and everything. There's just the one rotary with planetaries in there, and poof, you're done. In one side, 1-to-1. Out the other end comes 4-to-1. So even the gear, the gearbox is wicked small just because it's a planetary.
Hey, Brandon, you said that guy's a member of my group?
I think it's cool as crap.
Okay.
The more I'm playing with it, the more I'm loving it. I mean, I've only had it running for 2 days now, so.
Jerry, do you have, what's his name from PH3D? He was on last week. What's his name?
Tim.
Tim, do you have his email address? Can you send it to me in private chat?
His email?
Yeah. He posted last week, and I thought I wrote it down, and I can't find it.
He doesn't really use his email as much. He uses Telegram.
Well, no, he posted the email last week for everybody in chat. So he said to reach out to him there. And so I thought I did write it down somewhere. I just can't find it. So if you have that, someone has it, you can stick it up in the private chat, and I will. I want to ping him. What do you think about putting him in one of my streams, Jerry? An interview with him.
What's that?
Interview Tim.
I'm hearing static. I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Yeah, someone's got a lot of radio thing going on in the background.
No, it's probably my printer.
Oh. But no,
it sounds like there's a radio on somewhere.
Yeah.
I could hear it.
I was saying, what do you think about maybe including Tim in one of my interviews?
Tim's one of your interviews? Yeah, he'd be good.
I was thinking about it. I think he'd be a good, because he has his own company and stuff. I think he'd be a good person to have a chat with.
Yeah, he has live streams constantly, and he drops them here occasionally.
I know.
Yeah, he'd be good. He'd be a good person to talk to.
Yeah, I might ping him, see if he's interested in joining, because I have a couple lined up, and I was just thinking Tim might be a good source. because a lot of people deal with him for parts and upgrades and stuff. And I think it'd be a good get to know you type of interview.
Yeah, sometimes I pee him when I want to get a hold of him. Usually he doesn't like that. He gets really busy, so I have to usually go through the company, and I just email him through the company.
Yeah.
I just counted how many bottles of hell paints I've got left. 28 bottles.
I'll look for his email and I'll send it to you.
Okay, thanks.
I think I have his email.
Yeah, I wrote it down last week. I just can't find where it is.
Yeah, every time I do a video, when I go into the settings on YouTube, I always pick to show live chat and the two settings that you have to check. And for some reason, on most of my videos, when I go back and watch them, I'm not seeing chat on the screen. So I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it does. Most of the time it doesn't. So I don't know why it's not working. That's why I try to post so many on the screen, is so that if you rewatch it, you can see what's going on. So almost every time somebody says something, most of the time I put it on the screen. And if people think, well, why do you keep doing that? Other streamers don't. Well, there's a reason why. That way you can see what people are saying.
Yeah, I did it last night for when there's stuff related to the content.
Yeah,
not people. Not some of the initial stuff wasn't really on the conversation, so I skipped that. But,
yeah, well, when I talked to him about being Santa Claus, I see you didn't want to post that one. So, anyway. But I know that he read it, so I got my point across.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, isn't he?
He seems to be.
Yeah, I've dealt with him a lot since even from his old softball days, and he's a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
So what's everyone printing right now?
I'm reprinting a hood to my Ecto 1 car because the one that I printed, I had a stepper motor going bad on my CR10, and I got some pretty bad layer lines in this. You can probably see them.
Well,
I'm reprinting the hoods in this orientation at 250% right now. It'll be done tomorrow.
But you could probably send those out, couldn't you? Fill it and send it?
Well, I know. It's just a lot. I could, but it's PLA. It's hard to work with. And there's a lot of lines in it. So I'm just going to reprint it because I had a stepper going bad when that happened. So,
But Jerry, here's the thing: you've got UV curable resin. You just use. I've got one here.
Yeah.
Piece of tin foil,
wipe it around, and seal it up.
Piece of tin foil about that long. Pour it in so it lays flat, and one of these. That's all it is. Just a sponge brush. They're flexible sponge brushes. You can pick them up for, I think they're like 30 pence from the craft shop. And you just literally run it over the top of it and then hit it with your UV light. And then that's it. You just spray primer over the top of it. You don't need to work with a PLA or anything. You just sand it and it's done.
Yeah, I've got a UV flashlight. Do you think it would bond to the primer if I ever did that in the future? Or it may not bond to the primer though, right?
Yeah, you just key it.
Yeah, scratch
that
it
stuff
with
will
rough.
stick to anything.
Yeah, okay, or rough it up. Okay.
Scruff it with some rough.
Yeah, I've got resin. I've never tried that though. I know it'd be like self-leveling concrete. You put it on, it would just kind of run and it would cure it. And then if you have any bad spots, just sand off that area.
Well, if you get any bubbles or anything in it, you just get a hot air gun and you just quickly go over the top of it, and it just pops them all. And it self-levels, so really nice finish.
All right, I'll try that. I haven't tried that.
Yeah, I've actually used resin to clean up and smoothen the print, rather like especially with stuff with PLA and so on. So if you can't vapor smooth, you just turn around and stick it in and get some resin, paint it on, and I have a handheld UV light, so I paint it on and then I go over with the light, and it actually it hardens it almost straight away.
Yep. Before they came out with resins, I used to take 3D printed parts when I was designing parts for a machine, and they wanted them stronger and smoother. I used two-part epoxy.
Yeah.
Thinned out the two-part epoxy, and the parts, they looked at them and they thought they were just solid.
Yeah. Yeah, but it really works, and you in most cases you could end up getting. Now the problem is, don't put on. Yeah, they work, but I have a handheld one that actually battery operated.
Yeah, the battery ones are fine, but this is a 30 watt. I can place this on a holder and actually have it so that the angle on it means that I can put anything underneath it. If I put this in, you can go into like bargain buys and Poundland places here and buy these really shiny chrome bins. Literally, I can hang that over the top of it, and it can cure whatever you put in there. And it's, you know, it's. I think this one cost me £13, so that's roughly about $18.
Yeah,
it's a 30 watt, and I just rewired the plug. That's it.
Yeah,
So
I have a UV. I have a UV laser as well. So I guess I've done that as well. But yeah, anything like even if you just paint it on and cured it quickly with just the surface of it, so it doesn't run, and then put it into a curing station that you'd normally use, and then run it in there for 10 or 15 minutes in the curing station just to harden it all the way through.
Hey, sorry guys, I dropped my mouse to get down the computer, so I had to get on my phone.
Uh-oh.
That's gotta suck, man.
Yeah, it really sucks. So only other choice I have is to go in my bedroom and hop in bed and get on that computer. So
I think we need to tape a string to it and then clip it to your shirt.
Yeah, that might be a good idea, David.
That stuff will mess up your eyes, man.
I'm not looking at it. That's why I'm looking directly forward and not shining it at my eyes. I'm shining it at my top. But yeah, it is.
4 or 5 millimeter will destroy your retinas.
Yep. But it's cool. It makes everything glow.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go get a filling, the dentist uses a resin that he injects into your tooth, and that resin is strong enough to bond to your tooth, plus support anything that you chew on.
Dental resin.
So why aren't we getting something that's close to dental resin?
Because it's expensive.
Yeah, the formula is very expensive.
And
they use very expensive, but it's very.
And they use 465. They use 465.
Well, I brought it up one time
nanometer.
before, and there was a video of a gentleman nailing a FDM printed nail through a board. What type of resin was that?
Probably ASA or something, I'm guessing. Something or carbon fiber.
Does anybody here or in chat have resin false teeth? Because I don't have many teeth. I need false teeth. And I was just wondering how strong resin teeth are.
Yeah, if you look at Jack Nicholson's Joker teeth, you'll be fine.
What's that?
Jack Nicholson's Joker teeth. That'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't eat nuts anymore. There's a lot of things I can't eat. I can still eat steak. I just cut up real small.
The key to all that resin, it all depends how much hardener they put in it. Because our printing presses down at work, you could put a half a cup. Talking about a Dixie cup, you could put a half a cup of hardener in a 5-gallon pail of ink and run that, and that shit will cure that ink and harden in a hurry.
Yeah, well, it'll cure really fast, but the UV stuff that like they use in the dentist, that uses 465 nanometer. I think it is the high intensity UV is what they use.
Yep.
And that stuff like turns into concrete. It goes so hard.
That's why we use that's why we have the UV units on all our printing presses. It goes by instantly. I mean, them images are going by in milliseconds, and it's hard.
Yeah, well, that's the wattage, the output of UV that they get.
Yep.
Yeah,
we have cassettes that got cracks in them, and let me tell you, one of them, you don't want to look in there too long because you talk about frying your eyes out in seconds.
Yeah.
She's
and the
bright.
one thing about those damaging your eyes is you don't know for 24 hours. Did you know that?
3D welding spots.
3D
like welding.
If you have a laser, remember you have your dog cannot ever look at that laser. It'll blind your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get basically arc eye.
And I know that because
I have to keep the room closed because I mean he doesn't. Oh my, Brody, stop it, man! I know there's somebody out there. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry.
All right.
But he can't stand anything electrical near me, whatever else, and I have to close the door because he wants to go in there and look at the printers. But yeah, Gary, you're absolutely right. I'm glad you said that because once I do get a laser, then I have to make sure I keep him away from it.
Yeah. And if you turn it on, don't ever take your hand and say, "Is it working?" and put your hand under it, or there goes your finger.
Oh no! I wouldn't do that. So
Yeah, someone mentioned there about welding arc. Welding arc damages your eyes again because it gives off high intensity UV light. The arc gives off high intensity UV. That's why it destroys your eyes. But what actually happens with your eye is the back of your eye, the retina in the back of your eye, takes when you get damaged by the sun. If you look at the sun with your naked eyes, or if you look at a welding arc or UV light, it takes 24 hours for the cells to die.
Yes.
So you could be fine after looking at the sun or after looking at a welding arc, and you'll be fine. You go to sleep. You wake up the next morning and you're blind.
Yep.
And your eyes hurt like
I
hell.
welded for a full day without a helmet on in a very tight spot in a car. And that night was when my eyes started to hurt.
Yep.
Were you
And then
wire
I went to the
what kind of welding?
eye surgeon, and he said it looks like you have millions of cracks on the surface of your eye.
Yeah, it's scarring.
And I had to have full contacts, full eye contacts, very large ones, for almost 4 days, and he wasn't sure that I'd even see after that.
Were you using an acetylene torch weld, or were you using electric?
Electric.
You were lucky because you were able to see it.
I know. I was totally lucky.
I don't see how you could stand to even look at it. I mean, I can weld
I
myself.
didn't even look at it. I looked away because I was in a tight spot underneath a
you got the arc flash
in a car.
Yeah.
And I was welding the floor. So I would just kind of look off to the side. And I would strike an arc and then follow that arc, and then I would lift it, and then I'd start an arc again. And I never looked right at it, but it was enough.
Yeah.
It's all of it's bright, whether it's MIG, whether it's TIG, whether it's gas, whether it's assembly, whether it's arc. It's all bright.
There's a laser dot right here, right there. That's a laser dot, and that's only a couple seconds, and it's more painful than a cut.
Yeah.
What I do on my Chinese lasers is I have a hood like this, because I don't always have the glasses on, because they will freak you out if you leave them on too long, for hours. But the coloring, but I put this hood so that it's right down, very close to the table. That way the laser can't sneak out.
Yeah,
it's not going to reflect off of wood.
Yeah, I've got an arc welding hood for arc welding. It auto darkens the minute the flash starts, and then I've got goggles the same way. Would those be good for a CO2 laser or no? Well, they'd be too dark. You probably couldn't see what you're doing. So you have to get the color match and see what's in front of you.
They'll work, but the idea with the glasses is if you get a reflection or anything, if it touches your eye in a millisecond, that's it. There's no repairing it. That's why the glasses. You're talking a flash burn versus actually going to fry your retina in a millisecond.
Yeah. You have to be watching it with those lasers and the goggles, because they have to be color matched. If you put red goggles on and you're shooting a green laser, it'll burn in your eye still.
Yep, the Chinese lasers should have the green ones like this.
Yeah, Jesse.
Okay, so the goggles, actually, the color of the laser,
and I did it when I was 18.
The color of the goggles you have to wear.
And it was in a Camaro. Same thing.
So, Llama, the color of the laser dictates the color of the glasses you have to wear?
Supposedly, yeah. I don't know the whole exact theory, but from what I understand, yeah.
If you buy any of the Chinese lasers, you're going to have this type here. Them are the blue lasers. Them are called blue lasers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the blue.
You got the blue light in the spectrum.
And then buy a second pair in case you ever have somebody over and you want to show them what you're doing. I have a backup pair laying around.
Yep.
Yeah. The blue lasers don't reach ultraviolet. The frequency of the light is not low enough.
What about having a laser dot set up on them? Because some of them have a laser dot so you can position where the laser is.
Oh, that's the initial fire, but it only fires about 1%.
Yeah. When you use your like laser Gerbil or T2 laser or your light burn, when you hit the button, you got an image on there, and you hit the button, it's going to do an outside parameter, and then that laser, you see the original blue laser, but it's only running about 5%.
Yeah.
So it
I think
can't
it
hurt
only
any.
defaults to 1%, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
can,
then, and if
you can
have,
take mine and you can set what you want that laser to look like, how strong you want it to be.
and you have to set as well. The other thing you have to do is you have to set, depending on the laser, some are fixed focus, so you have to you actually manually adjust the Z height, and then
Yes.
others are very focused. So you do a 1% or 5% fire, and then you have to manually focus it underneath to get it to the finest beam, and that's the beam you use for cutting or engraving.
Yeah, now you could cheat once you get used to doing this for years. You could cheat instead of making G code. Like for instance, this image here. You know how long that would take that fine laser to make them letters, the G code. This is not. It's hard to see, but this is not going back and forth with the laser. This is G code that keeps going around the letter, and it's just like if you were going to do inlaid on your CNC. But what I did was I cheat the focus, and it's actually out of focus, so it burns.
Beam.
Yes, I use it to my advantage.
You could actually combine the code for a CNC and the code for a laser because they're the same. It's the same tool paths. So you can engrave it with a CNC, and if you want to darken it, you can go use the exact same setup, put on a laser head, and actually burn it, so you actually get a darker finish.
Right. If this ran and you're cutting that laser, it would take hours because it keeps doing it like inlaid and to make the thick black lines.
Yeah.
And this, instead of going back and forth, this one is making the black lines. So I cheat the focus and make it. It's actually out of focus, so it burns wider lines.
So you just move slower, so it actually burns better.
Well, it's out of focus, so the dot is not so tiny.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You have to move. Then your travel speed is slower because when you're not in focus, your burn is slower.
Yes, but you're engraving better where the real fine one is going to cut. Depending, it's a game. It's a game of feed rates and power on your laser.
This turned into a laser show.
CNC in a laser show, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to have. Anything.
We're all makers.
Yeah, CNC lasers. What I wanted to talk about: 3D printing, resin, everything.
You don't want to see some of my projects because they're boring. I just had to run another 20 pieces of these, and they're boring. But hey, that's $6 a piece.
Yeah.
What do I got? 3 cents worth of plastic in here? It's for a machine.
Yeah, I don't do that kind of stuff. I've never done. Maybe I need to change and then find ways of selling what I do. So.
Yeah, if you catch a knack or you engineer machines and make parts and solve problems and make things run better, and you can make a real lot. But I was telling Jerry, at my age, I want to go the other way and start doing some of this fun stuff like he's printing, you guys are printing.
What's that, David?
What do you got there?
I get $30 for these. And they got a 30-watt LED in it and a switch. That's really the only electronics, and then a pigtail. And it's cut G. And I've sold 6 of them already in 2 days.
What does that nozzle do?
This is a light. You see my reloader here?
Yes.
You see this? This is the same part. So I just.
Oh,
sure.
Okay, I like that, David.
Sure.
So you can reload in the dark.
You can.
Yeah.
It's important to be able to see your powder as you're reloading.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So I printed, like I say, I think I've got 6 of them already sold. 6 sold at $30 a pop, and I got maybe $10 in them. I've got a supply of 12 volt brick with it, but I bought everything. I've been buying everything in bulk. So, I got switches and I got everything in both.
Now, do you have the reloader set up for the 308?
No, this is for 45.
Okay.
I just loaded 545s, and 45s are like $1.50 to $1.70 a round today, right now, with the scarcity. So
yeah, well, I'm okay on the 45, but I'm looking more towards the 9s and the 308s.
I actually load 308s, but I don't have any. But I've got 2 5-gallon pail full of 9s that I need to load yet. I'm cleaning 223s tonight.
Now, what 9 ammunition are you buying? Because I on my 9s, and I have bought some of the 45s, but mainly on my 9s, I buy the Hornady critical defense load.
Oh, what's the target going?
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
These are coated. These are coated bullets. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
They're lead. They're lead with a poly coating on them, so they don't really. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like my 9s, I've been using the last couple of years. I've been using the Hornady, the critical defense loads. You can't reload those.
Look at the screen, David.
Those.
That looks like that might be the end. Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
I load a lot of those too. I like those, but I shoot a lot at the range for practice. So
I don't like those at the range.
Yeah. So I don't typically load those. Those are self-defense rounds.
Yeah, those are self-defense rounds because trust me, the bullets will cost more than the damn gun.
Yeah.
I've seen my son with this paper there.
It's very expensive to shoot people, and I don't like shooting people, but it can be expensive.
On some of my models, when I film stuff, I want smoke in it. Since I vape, I just take a big swig of vape smoke, I blow it at the model and start clicking pictures. Kind of gives me a smoke effect. And one day I had my hypercube sitting next to me, and I'm sitting there working on my hypercube. I'm vaping, and then I pull up. 1 second, Andrew. And then I pull up Octoprint, and I'm watching my print. I got the camera on it, and then on Octoprint I see smoke, and it kind of freaked me out. I turned my head, and I thought something was on fire, and I didn't realize I'm sitting there vaping, and that's where that smoke came from.
Yeah, I hear you were doing it to yourself.
Andrew, go ahead.
I was just going through an old box of my steampunk stuff, and it had a photo of me when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
My goodness.
Hippie.
That must have been a long time ago. You look totally different.
And I found a pin to either, I think it was a Claymore when I was in the AC. But it's a pin
I
for
got some glasses for you, Andrew.
What's that?
I have some glasses. They're steampunk glasses.
Oh, I've got loads of them. I used to make like loads of stuff like that. I used to be part of a steampunk society and used to make chainmail and stuff for people.
Chainmail.
Here.
Yeah,
I used to.
these are my steampunk glasses.
They're the Aussie glasses.
Dude, you kind of look like Morpheus, man.
Now you need to ask is,
there
do
you
you
go.
choose the red pill or do you choose the blue pill?
Yeah, I got them on Amazon. I love my
See the
steampunk stuff,
Matrix,
Andrew.
man.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
No, I don't think I have, Jesse.
No. These are fun to fire if you're going to be firing of anything. 12.7.
Oh, the 50 cal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have those done. And not to get anything morbid, but I have those set up for my funeral. That's my ass is going to be put in. But now, have you fired the M08 or the Barrett M107?
I Well, I'm not. I didn't do. We didn't go. I wasn't in the military here in the
My
States.
logo vase.
Nice. Weapons are different.
No drama llama.
Okay.
Did you like your
Well,
light frame llama?
like David knows, we got out to Camp Atterbury. So, and she's the big one up there. So,
I think I overscaled my 50 caliber then, according to that one.
yeah, I would think a little bit so.
Just a little, dude. Just a little.
That's more like a 205 round.
Mine's the real brass. Mine's the real brass.
Yeah, but I think he's got more of a 205 round.
I would not like to have that on my shoulder and have the recoil of that thing firing.
No, you wouldn't.
You'd end up in the pit behind you.
I like those glasses. There you go.
If anyone wants a no drama llama light box, there you go. It's in private chat. That was a quick model. I just threw it together.
Oh, you modeled that?
Yeah, I made it for you.
I thought it was just something you found.
No, I made it.
Yeah, I saw it. I'll get it for him.
Why?
No drama llama.
Oh, crap.
I'm doing one for Viking now.
I'll send you one to.
That'll be nice.
1 second.
That'll be cool.
Hey, Liam, did I mod you here?
No, you didn't.
Type anything in chat, and I will mod you. Just type hello or anything, and I'll take care of it.
What mask does your son have on, Jerry?
Okay, let me go.
Blade mask.
1 second. Let me go.
You're killing me.
First of all.
Freaking Andrew's turning into a freaking vampire up there. What is it, like midnight there, a little after?
It is 10 to 1. And I went to bed at...
Hey, there's those things. They call beds. If you lay down in it, you shut your eyes.
Smoke come out of his mask.
I put it in,
I know what a bed is.
I put it in private chat, Jerry. You can post it there.
All right.
That was good. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my brother, he was moving out of his old place and he had bought a new mattress. He works offshore, so he's got quite a bit of money.
Hey,
So
I'm
he gave
going to
me
hit the road because I got a few things I got to do. So
Here's Liam's camera right here.
Later, guys. Have a
Take care,
wonderful
Lama. Thank you for stopping by.
Hey, Jerry.
Yeah.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No, it does not.
Yeah, we don't. Neither one of us smile, and we're sarcastic, and you know.
Oh, sarcasm is my middle name.
Yeah, I'm very sarcastic. When I scream, I try not to be. But whenever somebody says anything, the first thing I do is I pick apart what they said and try to find something to say about it. But you know.
Yeah.
I'm Irish. I kind of get
around.
around.
To smile more often, but it hurts too damn much.
Thanks, Cunningham. But being sarcastic is part of my DNA. I'm Irish. I can't get around that.
Yeah, I'm German, French, I think Irish, and possibly a little Indian.
No, I was basically talking about Jerry's son.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing those glasses came from your shop.
No, I don't wear glasses like that.
I'll bet you did 30 years ago.
No, never had round ones.
No?
Oh, Jerry, you got to get some.
Yeah, my son usually don't wear sunglasses. He says he doesn't need to, but if I walk outside without sunglasses, I constantly sneeze. I got to wear glasses at all times.
You know something, though, David? We did a video stream. Well, Jerry did a video stream a couple weeks ago, and we said we're all going to have on the same exact colored shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
No one's wearing blue.
We're all wearing blue, Jerry.
Well, everybody else is wearing black besides me and you.
No, those are cameras. That's blue, too.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm wearing black. I had an orange shirt on. I changed it. Around the house shirt. And then when I stream on Wednesdays, I always shave my head and my face and try to wear a better shirt for my Wednesdays when I have a guest on.
Yeah, I'm not shaved either, so I can't stand having hair.
Yeah, if I let my hair grow out, it'd be all gray like my goatee is, and I don't have much right here on top. But I actually, when I finally decided to go bald, I love shaving. I love it that way. until you bump your head into a cabinet or something, you instantly cut your head open. When you have hair, you have protection, and that don't happen. So you cut your head real easy when you're bald.
Yeah, well, I'm not my head into too many things these days, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What's that, Liam?
I said a baseball cap is your friend.
Yeah. I wear caps all the time.
I have
got a
hair, but I
grill.
wear caps all the time because I'm just lazy.
We have to, man. We get sunburned and over and over and over and over.
I've got an official Crowley cap.
Oh, you dog.
I got a Crowley
t-shirt
too. I got a Crowley t-shirt too, but I've been eating too many cookies lately. They don't fit so well. And then I got some 3D HP caps.
I have a whole pile of NASA ones. This is the NASA one. I have my Apollo 11. I have SpaceX. I have a whole pile of all
You're
of
good.
them.
Go ahead and show them again. Yeah, I love your stickers. You sent me some stickers of NASA. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that's my Apollo 11 for the anniversary of the moon landing. I have my SpaceX one. And then my astronomy club. And I have more upstairs. I don't keep them all here, but I go through baseball caps. I cycle through them all the time. But yeah, I'm a big wearer of caps, but it's they're all nerdy stuff because I'm a nerd, so I can't fix that.
Okay, now this was brought up earlier. SpaceX is launching the beta test, which I've already signed up for their Starlink, which is $500, $100 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So when is that starting?
They've started some beta testing already. They did a free beta test a while back for a handful of people. Now they're actually increasing it to more beta testers. They haven't opened up to the general public yet, but what they're going to do is what they generally do is they increase the number of beta testers till it gets to the point that it becomes commonplace. So they're slowly growing it. They are warning people that there will be dropouts because whatever satellite's over you is what you get, right? And they don't have the full constellation up there yet.
ZYLTECH sells samples, and Amazon has samples. And if you buy through ZYLTECH, you can use my link and get 15% off. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so they are slowly but surely. Right now, they're testing northern U.S. and southern Canada. That's the range they're testing right now. So if you live like down south, like in Jerry, where Jerry lives, and so on, you kind of have to wait a while. They're not really testing down there.
No, I'm in Indiana, so I'm a little higher.
Me then, I'm in Michigan.
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
I'm in Scotland.
Scotland, I say.
Always wanted to go there.
Yeah, Scotland is fun.
I'm on Mars.
Yeah, my wife loves your she loves your accent. She thinks you're hot.
I don't have an accent. You do. From my point of view, all of you have accents, not me.
Yeah.
No, but Starlink is going to be good and I think it'll get cheaper as they roll it out more and more. The prices eventually come down. I think over the space of a couple of years.
Old curmudgeon, the samples you're looking for, you might get a hold of Josh from Alien 3D, and he might be able to hook you up since he cuts down rolls for his sample boxes. Maybe he could sell you what you're looking for. That would be one suggestion. If not, ZYLTECH, or you can message maybe Dave from Printed Solid might have samples that he could sell, depending on what colors you're looking for, certain amounts. I'm not really sure. Personally, I don't like sample packs. When I get them with a printer, I don't usually throw them away, but I never usually print them unless I completely ran out of filament. I'm desperate because there's such a small amount. But for a 3D pin or something, you could always buy a roll and cut it off as you need it.
Mm-hmm. They usually do low weight spools or end of line for the samples. That's basically how they do it. So they either have it at the start or the end of a line because they can calculate as to how much spools they'll get out of one weight, but they have to add extra for expansion and compression of the filament as well. So that's how you get your samples generally is low weights or underlying spools that they do.
I had a roll of red ABS that I was using a few days ago. I'm not sure if my son had bought it for me in the past, or if a company sent it to me, it was unmarked. And I don't like when companies do that. When all companies, when you send out filament, other than it says what it is, and you need to have your company name on it. That way, if a person wants to reorder it and they have multiple filaments, like most people do, you know what brand it is. But it kept tangling, and it wasn't tangled under itself. It was just wedged in the corner like the roll had been too hot and kept sticking. And I was getting some midair prints. So I unwound it, and it kept happening. So I finally went in the trash. My wife wanted the spool because she wants to build a Christmas tree out of old spools. So I've got like 100-something spools in the garage. Not sure how we're going to do it. But anyway, I let her sit there and unwind the whole thing and cut it in sections and put it in a garbage bag. I just got tired of it tangling. But all companies need to label their spools. Sure, it's going to say print temperatures and what it is, like PLA or PETG, but you need to have your company name on it. That way we know where it came from.
Agreed. Well, you can always read
how
through this.
excited you were when you got your first 3D printer and it actually had some filament with it?
Never used it. I had ordered like 10 different hatch blocks. Because at the time on the groups, everybody was talking about how great a hatch block was. So I bought like 10 different colors. And then when I
just ran across the back of your
the dog or the cat.
Looks small.
Yeah, I just ran behind you. We saw a tail and going up behind you. Probably the cat.
One of my two dogs.
Or the dog.
When I bought my CR10, when they came out, it came with some white filament PLA.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh God, I got to get something to print. And
that's from CC Tree, at least it used to be. And I used to review a lot of their filament. I used to buy it quite a bit. It's great. It's good filament. I did have one roll of CC Tree. I had it in my enclosure. You know, I had the door on or something. I don't know what it was. And it backed up out of the extruder. It seemed to be softer than a lot of other filaments, but it does print nice.
Yeah, I have some CC3. I have G-Tech. I have a couple of unusual makes as well. But I like IT3D though. I love their materials.
Yeah, 3D ZYLTECH I print with a lot. G-Tech or G-Tech that sent me a bunch for the Ectocar. They sent me 6 rolls, and I've got some more coming in the mail. They have another company. It starts with a G, but it's
Giant Arms.
Yeah, I've got some coming from them, and it'll be in the mail here in the next day or two. But G-Tech filament, it seems to be very durable and rugged. It's not brittle. It's like when you go to remove the supports and you have trouble, they don't just shatter in a million pieces. It's very durable filament.
Did you ever try Isunmate? ISUNMATE.
No, I haven't.
They're fairly new. They're around a couple of years. They do nice material. I printed their rainbow material and it was really good. The only problem with their rainbow is there's about 18 meters between each transition, so it's really long. You need to print a large part or a very complex part to show the layering. But the material is really, really good. At one point, I did a test of another filament from them, and they said and I couldn't get it to print properly at all. So I went back to them because I told them I couldn't get it to print right. They scrapped 190 kgs of filament because it was bad. Because I told them I couldn't print with it.
I know every time I open a new roll of film, I cut off about the first foot, because usually the first couple inches is usually brittle and breaks. So I usually pull off about a foot and snip it, and then I load it up that way.
I put mine straight into the dryer.
Now, Jerry,
it goes straight to the dryer for 2 hours or 3 hours before I even print the first thing.
I do have Sunloose dryer, but because of my climate, and I understand it could have been packaged with moisture, but I've never pre-dried filament out ever.
Yeah, no, I have
now, Jerry, you've used the eSun filament before. You did a little bit of a review on that. And have you tried, or have any of you tried the Spider Maker filament that 3D Printing Nerd Joel did a review of?
I never have tried that.
No, I haven't tried it.
And
there's been one or two companies that he's tried, and I've contacted them about wanting to review their filament, and they'd say, well, their stock is lower because of what's going on in the world now. You know, for whatever reason, I was hearing it now.
Oh, that's not right. But what was your opinion on the eSun filament you reviewed?
I'm
trying to remember. I think it's Sunlu. I don't think I've ever tried eSun.
Sunlu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
not Sunlu. I'm sorry, I
The
apologize.
Sunlu PLA was very nice. I have mixed results on the black PETG I got from them. I was having some clogging issues on my Hypercube out of the blue that came out of nowhere when I was using their filament. Other than my clogging issue, it was printing fine. The PLA was fine. I had no issues with it whatsoever. And they're sending me out their resin right now that I'm going to be reviewing with this UV curing enclosure, which is the same size as their filament dryer, the same size box. I'm going to make a video on this in the next day or two.
Yeah, I've done eSun. I've done eSun, PLA, PETG. I've had Sunlu prints. I use the Sunlu orange a couple of times. They're PLA, and I really like it. It prints really well. I rarely get a. I think unless you pay really cheap money, you're going to get decent filament. If you pay $10 a spool of filament, like from some Joe's filament shop or whatever, you're not going to get good prints, right?
3D ZYLTECH is $15.99 a roll, and I don't think anybody in the world has ever had a problem with it.
Yeah.
I usually pay $15.99 to $19.99, but I try to stay around $15.99. And when I get a company, I'm reviewing their filament, they're usually sending me stuff. It's like $25 a roll. But typically when I buy it, I try to stay right around $15, $16 a roll. ZYLTECH, I've had no trouble with, even though years ago I heard a lot of bad things, so I never did try them. I waited a few years, and then I became an affiliate, and now I buy from them quite a bit. And they did have free shipping over $75, but right now they don't. They just have discounted shipping. So, anyway.
How many of you guys are printing with PLA Plus?
I've tried part of a roll on the front of my Ectocar. I think it was Sunlu sent me some Amazon return filament. It's a silky color.
Well, I got it painted now. I can't show you, but
I've used it.
It seemed to be fine.
It's easier to sand than PLA. It's much easier to sand.
I printed with nothing but PLA Plus. I typically print PET G, but if I'm using PLA, I'll print PLA Plus. It seems to be harder, and it holds up to a little bit more heat.
Yeah, it is harder.
Well, see, right now I bought 2 rolls of the Spidermaker filament in the gray because I could not find the black. But I'm printing the Xenomorph from Aliens, the movie, and it's a little bit of a larger size. So I'm doing little small prints, little slices of it, to see if it's going to come out and the layers are going to adhere correctly, to where it's smooth enough to where I can sand it without having to do a lot of work. But I'm still got to figure out how this Spidermaker is going to work. But David, you said you're using a PLA Plus. Who is that made by?
PLA Plus is a type of filament.
Yeah,
so made by all of the manufacturers carry it.
Yeah.
Old Curmudgeon was just posted there, and I use eSun PLA Plus a lot.
I've heard a lot of good things about eSun's brand, but I've never tried their filament that I can remember. AMZ 3D, I used to like their filament until they jacked it up to $20 a roll. But what's bad about their filament, the hole is so damn little that it doesn't fit on some of your spool holders. They got a very small hole.
Yeah.
And most people like big holes.
Here's my dryer I made a long time ago for nylon. You cannot let nylon hit any air whatsoever. So here's the dryer I made. It's full of
man.
It's a wine box.
It's a wine box, and it's full of 2 inches of desiccate, and it works great. It works because when you start printing with nylon, it'll pop like Rice Krispies if there's any moisture, and it won't print worth crap. But here's a experimental piece out of nylon, something I designed for a company.
That's what I use.
And you can hit this. You can take this nylon and hit this with a hammer. And I slammed the hammer on this many times, but the only catch is it does have some flex with it, but it won't break. It's a little flexible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could break it if you tried, probably, but yeah.
But sure, you could pull it apart, and I could keep doing it, but it's you hit durable. The durable, right? You can. I pound on it with a hammer; it will not break that way.
Yeah.
Okay, David.
I use a dehydrator.
Yeah.
And it doubles to dry off my brass.
Well, I use multi-purpose. I use a dehydrator, and I made on my Ender 5 Plus. I needed to get more height because I said I buy the 2.5 kilo spools of PETG, the big spools. So I actually made an extension that's about 6 inches high that goes on inside and then I put a lid over that again. So I can actually put my really big spools in there and dry them in the hydrator as well.
I never
it works great.
I never dried any of my filaments ever. I guess I just use them too fast. Dave, when you put your jerky in there and you take it out and chew on it, it tastes just like smoky Remington, right?
It does. It's Remington jerky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just don't put it near the fire, okay?
Flame grilled steak with gunpowder. Mm.
Yeah, it tastes a little gritty.
That's funny.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna call the stream. It's been 3 hours and 11 minutes. So I'd like to thank everybody here that joined me and everybody in chat. I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody, and I'll probably be back. I don't know if I'm gonna be back Sunday or not, but next week I'll have another special guest on based on their schedule, and then I'll do a hangout when I do a hangout. I'm not sure when.
And we got the giveaway tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, over on Dan's channel, DB3D Dan.
And I'll have the interview next Thursday night at 9:00 Eastern.
Right. Well, hopefully I'll see everybody tomorrow over on Dan's channel. Tomorrow, I believe it's at 2:00, I think, but I'll have to check with his YouTube channel. So, because right now here in Vegas, it's 5:10.
All right, it was fun.
All righty,
guys. Have a good night. Be safe.
See you, everybody.
There we go. Anyway, yeah, everybody in chat, everybody on Facebook and on YouTube, I'd really appreciate you stopping by. Please like, subscribe, share the video. There's all kinds of cool discounts and ways you can help the channel out if you want to, or get a discount at many different companies. I'll have a live stream. I'm not sure when I'm doing my next hangout. I might do it Sunday, I might not. But each and every week, I always have a special guest on. And I'd like to thank everybody here. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Or give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. But thank you very much, and happy printing, everybody.